Oldie. 11. A big job for an 11-year-old. I'm looking forward to this. Why do you think you've been picked? What are your credentials, do you feel? There you go, so you know more about cricket than everybody here, basically. You can know loads of ways to be fair to you. Now, do you play cricket yourself as well? There you go. And you possibly could play Glamorgan one day, that would be pretty cool. But the game today is a big game against Kent. Okay, so how do you think the boys are going to do today? You're going to get snapped up by the BBC or Sky or something. Very good. I'm really looking forward to meeting you. So 8.6, both innings, but Kevin to Harry to get his opinion on the boys. Fantastic stuff. Our junior reporter, Harry, going to be the star of the show here today. Speaking of the star, it's DJ Josh Navini. Let's get back to the music and back to the decks. right now here as Spitfires. It's a big word, both captains aware of that. We've got Ralph as well. Ralph, step into the middle for me and help the guys with the toss. He's been practicing it, we've seen it. He did a really high one earlier. Oh, watch yourself. One more try. You'll need it to rotate if you can, Ralph. There you go. Okay, Sam will come to you. Sam will come to you first if you can. We'll speak to him after, that's alright. So Glamorgan went to toss there to go for a bowl, yeah? Yeah, no, what do you call a bat? You're going to bowl first? Yeah, Glamorgan got it. Your thoughts on that with this wind and the wicket?
We were actually going to bat first anyway. Obviously, day games here.
It's a big game this one tonight, yeah, today. Well, how would you approach it? Does that on your mind or just treat us as a single game?
Obviously, the game, obviously, can't control anything down the line, but like I said, deciding we could win against Somerset at the night. Yeah, we're very confident. We've played really good cricket in this competition so far. Obviously, a couple of results tonight, today, so we're really looking forward to this.
And your team games today? Any changes in the team? Same team, okay, Sam, wish you well. You're in. So you're going to have a bowl, we won the toss and go for a bowl, what's the thoughts behind that?
Yeah, we're pretty good, to be honest.
We talked about Friday night. Lots of people would have been kind of otherwise watching the Oasis and all that, but what a win you guys, that was a great match of cricket, entertaining, but also we got the big win.
The lads kind of really showed it out. It's very proud of it, but yeah, today got back out and that same test.
I suppose the big criticism would be back-to-back wins, so it's lovely to do that today.
Yeah, definitely. Especially at home, yeah, very exciting.
And team news? Change. Okay, fantastic. Oasis, did you get involved? Good stuff. Go well today, here. Here we go. Okay, so Morgan won the toss, and they've elected to bowl here at Spitfires today. Morgan versus Kent. It's going to be a great win.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, from Sapphire Gardens in Cardiff. This is the start of our live stream coverage of today's Vitality Blast match between Glamorgan and Kent. I'm glad to tell you that it's a lovely day here. The sun is shining, and we're looking forward to an exciting game in prospect with potentially a quarter-final place at stake. Both these two sides well placed, possibly to sneak in that fourth place. Before we get on to today's action and start looking ahead, we've got some highlights to show you. Highlights from Friday night's game between Somerset and Glamorgan at Taunton, which was a fantastic night for Glamorgan in the end. Some incredible performances, not least from Ned Leonard, fast bowler, who took a fifer, and to look out as well for an incredible cameo innings from Dan Douthwaite with the bat, and then a brilliant piece of bowling at the end from him too. So lots to look forward to. Let's show you now a little highlights reel from Friday night's match between Somerset and Glamorgan.
A couple of days ago. Now that's in the air, but should be safe. Will it go all the way? Oh no, it's going to be taken, I think. Craig Overton got underneath it. Double park, triple park. Pulled hard, and there's a gap there. That'll be 4. A bit short from Overton, giving that
Ringfield there to stop balls, and he has a massive hack nick, one of those nicks you enjoy.
Last ball of this one then, Overton in, and he's getting onto one leg, nearly putting it into the hands of the short fine leg fielder, but Riley Meredith.
Polar squishums, the two of us, aren't we?
Yeah. This is in the air. There's a fielder on the boundary. It will be taken. It's Meredith, got to be careful how he gets up. Yeah, he's done it. Just on the boundary, yeah.
Great catch down there, and good planning. Quite unusual in modern T20 cricket to have a fine leg and a deep square, but a successful season when Somerset won the T20. Him and Henry opened the bowling. Craig, I think every game bowled all the way through, and
Overton in. He won't have enjoyed watching that, as that one is going to be just about slowed up, but I think it will still reach the rope. Back-to-back boundaries here. Good shot. Yeah, it's banged in short, and that's a loose one from Lewis Goldsworthy.
He does what Jason Roy did, or does he not get hold of it? No, he doesn't. Tom Abel gets there. Great. Wow.
Tom Abel enjoyed chatting to him and working with him on that day. That was in Cardiff.
Down the wicket straight away. Could this be caught? Great effort. Matt Henry is a superb athlete. Last ball now into Ben Kellaway, the all-rounder, who'll be looking at how much spin there is. That's a thumping cover drive. It's going to be 4.
Lovely shot. That's the shot of the day for me so far. Lovely. That's lovely. Beautiful cut. And that'll be 4 runs. Lovely. Lovely.
Well, Lewis Goldsworthy's now on from the Toscova Pavilion, and he's gone for reverse straight away. Tom Culler-Campbell has got there. Another Glamorgan wicket. Lewis Goldsworthy again. He goes big. Colin Ingram. He's got hold of that one. That's a 6 over towards the grounds of the shed. And it's underway. The slog sweep is a shot.
Definitely his shot. Another little wily piece of batting there as he starts off with a bouncer, and beautifully played there by the South African for 4.
That's it. Yes, Asa Tribe will get a quick one here. He does. Pretty quick delivery, and that's gone. Asa Tribe caught behind by Tom Banton. That's good placement from Colin Ingram. Really nicely played in between Tom Abel and Matt Henry.
Steaming in to Douthwaite. Another short ball, another nick, and a poor piece of wicket keeping there from Banton. He's gone through the gloves. An opportunity there. Not the Colin the Caterpillar cake I always get.
That's a lovely
shot there from Colin Ingram.
Meredith. This is pulled.
Pulled well.
Straight to a gap there. Couldn't quite see around the corner, but yeah. Oh, he's got hold of that one. That is big. Look out in the churchyard. 6 runs, and it has gone into St James's Churchyard, and Ingram brings up his 50 in the most stylish way.
At the moment, they really need a burst of shots with the quality of that. That's right out of the screws into the churchyard.
Quite happy with that. Ben Green, it's a full toss, it's in the air, and that's going to be potentially in the river. It's gone in the river. We've had Churchyard on one ball, and their very next ball goes into the river. Wow, we've seen some big hits here now.
Not a good delivery there from Ben Green. Full toss. Been dealt with by Douthwaite.
To finish off this one. In the air, and the easy catch for the
sub. Massive wicket for the Green Machine and Somerset. He strikes, he rarely goes through 3 overs without picking one up, and he's got the big one.
But not on strike, as this is Douthwaite. Oh, lovely looking shot. That's a beautiful in-out drive through extra cover.
Fit for boundaries.
Another full toss, another one in the same place. Can Henry get round? No. Another 4. Go. It's in the air. Oh, that's a good shot as well, even better. 6. Haven't got enough yet, you'd think. This is pulled hard, and there'll be 6 more. 4, 4, 6, 6. Very good half century. Started slowly. Well, that's in the air, and Overton will watch it over his head. That's the half century, and Douthwaite's hitting boundaries for fun now.
Serious shot, that. A serious shot.
In comes Meredith. And he's bowled well, right at the toes of Douthwaite, so couldn't get underneath it. They'll come back for the second, should be run out, and it is. So only the 1 run added on that final.
Skinny alternative. That's a beautiful ball from McElroy, an edge from Banton. He's going to get 4 for it, but it wasn't a deliberate stroke. A little bit. That's
lovely.
A lovely shot.
That's lovely.
What a bit of timing there. Just going to flirt with the fielder. He's never quite going to get there.
In comes Imad then. Slapped through a gap, 4 runs.
There's 1 more remaining Ned Leonard's first over, and that could be a leading edge straight to mid-off. Ned Leonard has got Tom Banton. Ned Leonard's return to Taunton, the Cooper Associates County Ground, where he played a few games.
How many was that, 2? Oh, now how has that not hit the stumps? He's got something on it, and it must...
on the mid-off, both up in the ring. And Will Smead goes over the top, over mid-wicket, really. Why we shouldn't go through them tonight? He's bowled him. Ned Leonard has got 2 wickets on his return to the Cooper Associates County Ground at Somerset. Tom Cameron's gone over to the offside, missed that one, and has hit the leg stump.
Fancy this target 177.
What
Great
a catch.
shot, and what a catch. Douthwaite's having an absolute night out here in the southwest. What a celebration. And
Tom Abel's hit that fairly clean, fairly well.
Sponsored by Glamorgan 58. Sean Dixon.
Down for the genuine all round. He's done so well to get there and then keep it in as he's dived. Might land with his elbow, could have popped out. And Sean Dixon again, number 5, needs to get Somerset out of a bit of a hole.
catch that, very goalkeeper-esque. Save the penalty. Very well to hold on to that. Again, high on the bat again, suggesting there's a little bit of tennis ball bang.
Good use of the feet by Dixon, that's going to be 6. That is a long way. Tom Cullican hit the top of our commentary box on Wednesday in the Championship.
Oh, it's a poor delivery that from Kellaway. Will Smead doesn't miss out on those. Many mile back into the stand.
Crucial now on 37, not out. He's hit that high in the air. Is Long On going to get there? No, he's not. The James Hilder stand have a catching chance and they dropped another one.
Short to ball, nicely
well
played.
by Dixon. Beautiful piece of touch there.
Corvin in. Oh, he's got hold of this one. Sean Dixon has sent this into the Hildred stand. Was that one taken? Oh, he's tried to give himself some room here. He's put it straight into the air. Should be taken. It is taken. It's a good catch. And we'll pick up his half century here with a single out to deep cover. Well played, but he needs to hang around for Somerset.
5 balls with 2 4s and 2 6s.
On top of it, but those wickets have fallen. Now his own edge, yes. Umpire says yes, Gregory goes to get some more game time. Oh, that's been fired through covers. What a shot that is.
Hiding behind your beautiful curly head of hair.
That's a lovely shot.
Lovely bit of touch there.
Every run here helps. Smead goes over the top of the fielder, who's in the ring, extra cover, and that's 4 runs. I'd love to see a 4 maybe this time. Oh, he's backed away, giving himself some room, and he's got it. Yeah, he felt a bit... Yeah.
There you go, can that go all the way to the boundary? The fielder at Long On's underneath it. Great effort.
So there's 6 already in this over. He's trying again. He might have picked out the fielder. He has, and it's taken.
4 for 11. This time it's miles up in the air. It should be taken. For cover, it's going to be. Yes, Ben Green's got to go. Somerset in bother here. 27 now, and Ned Leonard on his return to Taunton has 4 wickets.
Oh, as this is in the air. Fielders underneath it, but they won't get it into the screen. Now Overton's picked that up nicely, but the fielder is there and takes the catch, and Leonard picks up a 5 on his return to Taunton. And there are celebrations for the Glamorgan side.
Leonard going to ruin this in his last over, but that wasn't quite a half volley. It was a long half volley. That it's not a bad ball actually at this stage to number 9 batter. Strike still.
Oh, it's an edge.
4, there you go.
Going to go through the keeper. Inside edge for 4.
6. Henry then. What can he do? No, he's not nice to get the boundary. They're going to have to come back for 2. He might have to sacrifice himself here. All the throws not perfect. Is it good enough though? Yes, it is. He's gone.
It's only the 1 run, crucially.
Massive. Well, Meredith is going to have to come out and bat. Matt Henry's gone. He's going to have to bowl full here. Everyone straight. Well played, Glamorgan. Going to go for 4.
Yeah, it will be a 4, which is not a bad shot, but it's not enough for Somerset and Glamorgan. Oh, yeah, I know.
You saw given no ball. No, he's given the 4. He's given the 4.
Given the 4. I looked up at one moment, it looked like no ball.
Well, welcome everybody to Sapphire Gardens in Cardiff for this latest Vitality Blast match in a very exciting summer of cricket here in Cardiff. And today the visitors are the Kent Spitfires, another team like Glamorgan who are just in the right position to challenge for a quarter-final place. They're in 6th, just 2 points below Glamorgan, who are currently in 4th. And so whoever wins this match, well, they could really put themselves in a great position to qualify. I'm joined today by former Glamorgan and Kent batsman Mike Powell, so he's got good insider knowledge on both sides. And let's just start, Mike, by looking at the Kent team. We're going to see them have a bat first. Glamorgan have won the toss and elected to bowl. So here's the playing 11 that we've got for Kent, and a couple of players that you know particularly well in that side, who were, when you were at Kent, they were sort of young players just coming through, Mike.
Yeah, there's a number of players in the air, like you say. Bell Drummond, Billings stands out from the top of the page there. Joe Denley wasn't there when I was there. Actually, he was the reason I probably signed for Kent. He was off for a stint at Middlesex at that time. But yeah, it's actually a very similar setup to what Glamorgan have. Just top of the order, Mayeye, who is on the back of 100 this year in this competition, who's absolutely flying. We know how explosive Bell Drummond can be. For those two at the top of the order, Denley, experienced campaign. I think he's 39 at the moment and still going strong. And Billings, we know how powerful he is and exciting he is. Not dissimilar to how Glamorgan set their setup for a game where they go very, very hard at the top of the order, and that really does set them up for a win.
Yeah, some exciting batters in that lineup. Mayeye, he's plays some beautiful innings and seems to be a very clean striker of the ball. Daniel Bell Drummond, again, just still quite a prolific batsman, isn't he? And lots of experience. Denley, Billings as well. And overseas options in this side, Mike?
Yeah, we've got Tom Rogers there as a bowling all-rounder. I think what they've had last year, the poor T20 campaign last year, Kent, they really suffered at the back end of it. In something they were averaging, I think, 12.5 runs from their last 5 overs of each of their games they were playing, which is they're never going to win games from that. So you're really relying hard on your batters to cover up that sort of area. So they've signed Rogers, and hopefully they can tie what they have done so far this year, tidy up the back end of an innings. But yeah, going back to the Mayeye at the top of the order, there's a lot of eyes on him at the moment, and there's talk of possible higher honours above county cricket. So yeah, eyes on him today. He's a very exciting player.
Yeah, so glad to say that the weather's really well set here in Cardiff for a full afternoon's play. Blue skies after a bit of rain this morning here in South Wales, but conditions are going to be absolutely perfect for this afternoon. We can just have a quick chat then about Glamorgan. I don't know if we've got the graphic at the moment, but we'll just chat about them anyway. So we've got the team. And it's the same team that got that excellent win on Friday night at Somerset, which is a difficult place to go and get a victory. Somerset were the runaway leaders. There's the team. We've just got it up now. And a brilliant performance Friday night. Must have really boosted morale. And a few changes from the team that started this competition, Mike, particularly the wicket-keeper there, and a few changes to the bowling resources as well.
Yeah, Cook has been dropped, and we've got Horton coming in and taking his place, and he obviously did a very good job down in centre, backing up a wing and justifying that decision there. But yeah, you're right, a win away at Somerset, they're pretty rare breed, that. So Glamorgan will be very confident coming into this game on the back end of that win, and defending down in Somerset as well. That's no mean feat. So yeah, they'll come to this a bit of confidence, come to the back end of this stages of the T20, and they're looking in a great position. A win today really does bolster their chances of getting in that quarter-final.
It's a young-looking side, isn't it, compared to perhaps what they have been on some occasions. Those key experienced players in Ingram and Wasim, obviously hugely experienced, and McElroy's an older player. But these young players coming through now, Horton, who's been the understudy as the wicket-keeper here for a while, former England under-19s keeper, isn't he? And then there's Kellaway, there's Tribe, and now Ned Leonard, who really announced himself on Friday night with a fifer at Taunton. So quite an exciting young batch of players coming through.
Yeah, but it's a young Welsh batch of players coming through. So you've got Gorvin, McElroy, just working with the Kellaway, Horton, Smale, Carlson. They all come through the system here at Glamorgan. So there's a lot of chat about development. So there are players in there. They have been developed in the system here, and they're of an age, but they're of an age to win games now. And this is what Glamorgan and the Welsh public want to see. So yeah, to win games with players that come to your system, it's a really big feather in your cap.
So we're just waiting now for the teams to come out. The umpires are on their way, and today is Emergency Services Day here at Sapphire Gardens. So just out the back, behind the main pavilion, for all the youngsters who are here, there's a wonderful opportunity to go and climb on a fire engine and meet the police and turn on the blue lights on a police car, and lots of fun things going on.
The umpire just drop off a bag of balls on the side of the pitch there. I could be wrong there. Don't know what they're expecting, how many balls are going to lose today. It looks like they just dropped off 20 bag of balls on the side of the pitch.
Maybe they're expecting a few to be hit into the river, and possibly the emergency services will be handy. They can just lean a crane over or something and fish a few out. So that could be quite handy. But yeah, a lovely day here, the Emergency Services Day at the ground, and really great to be supporting the emergency services and all the work they do, and hopefully some of the youngsters here as well getting the chance to see what they do up close as well. So lots to do as always here at Sapphire Gardens. So the umpires have made their way out into the middle. Anthony Harris and Rob White are the umpires today, and we're just waiting for the Glamorgan team. And here they come, led down the steps now by the captain, Kieran Carlson, and followed by Alex Horton just behind him with the gloves on there. He'll be enjoying a run in the side now, having sort of really played his way in with some powerful stroke play in second 11 cricket. Has really earned his chance. And so a game that's nicely set up here. Both sides sniffing around for those quarter-final places. Glamorgan currently occupying 4th place in the Southern Group. And you'd think whichever team wins today, well, they're going to really open up a little gap ahead of the chasers, who will then sort of be 4-6 points behind, and it might be hard for them to catch up in the final 6 games of the season. And here are the Kent batsmen. It's Moyeye, and Daniel Bell-Drummond. Both clean strikers of the ball. Bell-Drummond, a prolific batter, has been in good form this season. And so it'll be interesting to see how they get on today, how this pitch is going to play. How do you think, Mike? It looks quite green, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, from the angle we've got up here in the comms park, it does look very green from this side. A bit bare patches where the batsman will be standing, which make absolutely no difference whatsoever how the ball reacts. But yeah, from this angle, it does look like a green wicket. I mean, very little rain in this part of the country over the last couple of weeks. But the ground staff have done a great... This outfield looks beautiful, and the whole ground, so all credit to the ground staff. The place looks in great nick at the moment.
So Tuanda Muyeye is going to take the first ball, and to bowl it is going to be Imad Wasim. Left arm spin, Pakistan international, born in Swansea of course, but now here for a short stint as one of Glamorgan's overseas players. Interesting tactic, starting with spin. So opening up with spin, Mike, what's the advantage of doing that?
Well, I think there's a bit of wind out there at the moment. So they'll be hitting the ball back towards the wind. They've got a long on in place. Deep square leg as Emma comes in for a second ball. Yeah, his job will probably just to bowl this first over as quietly as he can. He's doing a great job at the moment. Just two balls, 2 dots. Yeah, he'll be eyeing up his offside. He's looking for a little bit of width outside off some, so we can lift it over those 3 fielders. This cover just being put back on the inner circle. Mid-wicket goes back on the inner circle as well. That was the ball Mayer was looking for. He was looking for a little bit of width. Almost went a little bit defensive on it, suggesting to Bell-Drummond at the non-strikers that it may have spun and beat the outside the edge, but I think he's trying to convince himself more than anything else. I think it's going to spin off this green wicket.
First runs. Just a single.
Yeah, nice in that here. Really setting the tone for Glamorgan. Because you are looking to capitalise in this first power play, and this is their job. And this is where they've been winning games, Kent, but they have got off to flyers in the first power play. At the moment, just the 1 run coming from the 4 deliveries. Extra cover coming in a little bit closer to make sure Bell-Drummond doesn't get off the mark. A little easy, soft single to cover.
Trying to come down the wicket there and just put him off his length. It's very tidy so far. We'll be pleased with this first over as things progress. Tight ring of fielders on the offside. 2 men deep on the leg. Tries to run that one past. They're going to have to hurry. Oh, they've made it comfortably in the end.
Yeah, very smart over from him at their start. Just the 2 runs coming from that. Really good start from Glamorgan. Tentative from Kent, trying to find out what this wicket's going to do. But that's the thing, we open with spin, and they ask the question why would you open with spin. There's no pace on the ball. You have to generate the pace. You can't just run the ball down to fine leg and third man and expect to get a boundary. A bit of width from the last delivery, and it was just a gentle single to the third man up inside the inner circle.
So it's Jamie McElroy who's going to open up from the River Taff end here. Experienced campaigner, left arm, fast bowler. And his game, I guess, is just to try and put it on a length, extract any early movement that there is as a slip in place in the hope that he can get one to go straight on past the outside edge.
Yeah, slip in place. You'd expect that with the tinge of green in this wicket. Expecting a little bit of movement from this hard white ball in the second over of the game. Bell-Drummond are looking to run that ball down. This third man up inside the circle with a slip in place. So there's a gap obviously between those two, and Bell-Drummond just looking to find that would run away for 4 runs. Oh.
Would have been tight. Would have been tight.
I think it would have been out. Kellaway missing the stumps there. Slight angle of what he's throwing from, but only throwing from about 10 yards in the end by the time he got rid of the ball. In the replay. Hopefully we have a better angle of where this might have been. Out or not. Probably out. Just by a frame, I reckon.
Yep. Yeah, he did respond. Well, it was his call. And he did set off quickly and just as well, really. Trading in singles at the moment are the Spitfires. It's early days. They're going to look for 2 here.
Douthwaite, 2 to him at deep square.
And again,
probably
making them hurry.
Yeah, probably should have been the one there. Douthwaite quite slow to react to that ball at deep square. But just on that run out there to Kellaway, I was talking to a couple of the Kent players before the game, just talking about the differences between here and playing down in Canterbury. Here it's very sandy outfield, excellent drainage. It's completely different to the outfield down in Canterbury. The ball skips along the outfield so fast.
First really shot thrown in anger. Doesn't get all of it. A bit of a miss hit, but it's good enough for a couple from Yeye.
Yeah, just mistimed, clipped over mid-wicket. So that's saying that ball was run down to Kellaway. It would have just stayed in that surface a fraction longer before it would have ended up in the fielder's hands, which would have been delay on the throw, obviously. But I think in Canterbury that would have been zipped straight to him, and he probably would have had more time to size the stumps up for a run out.
Tidy again from McElroy. Appreciative ripple. Goes round the ground here at Sapphire Gardens. Jamie McElroy hasn't played all the games this season.
He looks a lot like James Harris from this angle, doesn't he?
Well, James Harris is getting less hair year on year, isn't he?
They're sporting the same haircut.
Yeah.
Or the same polish. The same polish.
Oh, well fielded.
Yeah,
Kellaway in the action again.
Yeah, in front of the point there, dive. Yeah, I mean, 2 overs in. You just get a replay of that. A little bit of whip, dive in to his left there. Yeah, very good stuff. Saved a couple of runs. Got a feeler out on the boundary. Would have saved a run in the end, I think. Yeah, Kent haven't really got going there. 2 overs in, really played a shot in anger of any confidence. So really trying to feel their way into this T20 game here down at Sapphire Gardens.
Yeah, and they haven't given them much to hit so far, the Glamorgan bowlers. No. They're going to continue with Imad Wasim.
And justified with just the 2 runs coming from his first over. Yeah. Same field, long on, 2 fielders out the power play. He's got long on back on the rope, and you've got deep square. Everything else a ring field.
Just a few adjustments, just fine leg. Saving 1, just shuffling round to his right. And here we go, Imad Wasim.
And that's the thing, with the spinner on, no pace on the ball there. He's hit that reasonably hard bell drumming, but the fielder back on the inner circle, not finding the gap. Another dot ball.
In the air, this should be out. And it is. Imad strikes. Will Smell takes the catch. And Glamorgan have their first wicket. It's Daniel Bell-Drummond who goes for 2.
Yeah, Bell-Drummond, he's disappointed there, but I don't think it was necessarily the actual delivery that got him out, but I think it's the combination of all these dot balls leading up into that decision to come down the wicket and try and lift the ball up over Cumber. There's a big area behind there which he would have picked up a couple of runs, but unfortunately Bell-Drummond not quite getting anywhere to the pitch of that ball, and he just towed that ball up, and a comfortable catch in the cover area. Gets Kent 1 for 7.
I guess that was the accumulation of pressure.
It is.
Just not giving them any boundary balls which would release the tension, and he felt he had to do something.
A little bit, look at the replay, a little bit of turn, but yeah, Bell-Drummond nowhere near that wide of off stump, but yeah, a combination of just pressure, dot ball, and Kent looking for some sort of a release valve to get them into this sort of game. But at the moment, Glamorgan got a firm stranglehold on this fixture.
It was quite a quick delivery in the end, that one from Imad. He does have a flick of the wrist, which really sometimes can send the ball out quite quickly. It's a very stylish looking left arm bowler, very wristy. He even flicks his wrist in when he runs up to the crease. That's a lovely start from him. And that's brought Harry Finch out into the middle. Been promoted from the batting order that we've been given, so up at 3. maybe with a job to do here.
Yeah, just look at the wind. There's a little bit of a wind blowing across the ground here. So wind blowing past the batsman down to sort of that fine leg 45 area. So wind blowing in the face of the batsman. And that adds to your choice of shot as well, almost trying to hit the ball too hard back into the wind. It's a nice quick single through it to the wide made it off. It's back off the mark there, Finch. Yeah, for the golfers out there who are watching and listening to this, it's almost like driving a golf ball off the tee. You've got the wind in your face and you're overhitting. You try and put too much effort into it, lose your natural swing. There's a little bit of that when batting out there, the wind slightly in your face. Try and hold your shape. Try and hit it with the full face of the bat rather than overhitting it.
Well, Glamorgan really doing a good job of keeping these Kent batters quiet so far. Again, just a single from the first 5 balls of this over. Terrific stuff from Imad. Be a run there. It's only a single, so just 2 off it, and of course the wicket. So, slow start for Kent. They're 9 for 1 after 3 overs.
I'm just conscious of Oasis puns here. I was just going to say it's a sunny afternoon down here in Sophia Gardens with Oasis spent the last 2 nights.
Yeah,
across the road.
You were there on Friday night.
I was there. I was very lucky enough to be there Friday evening for the opening show. Unbelievable night. Obviously not better than it is this afternoon watching Glamorgan.
Well, this is the biggest show in
This
town,
is the biggest show this weekend. We know this.
Well, certainly from the Kent perspective, it's little by little so far.
Here we go. I've
got a few ready to go because I for my cricket club I did our fixtures post on Friday night and basically filled it with Oasis. So I've got a few ready to go. So it's Ned Leonard from the River Taff end, top edge of it.
Yes.
It's out. Strikes with his first ball. What a bowling change, Ned Leonard. He took 5 against Somerset at Taunton on Friday night. Well, he's picked up here where he left off in Taunton. Strikes with his first ball. And it's Mayeye, one of the danger men, who's gone for 6.
Big danger man. His highest run score in this competition so far. So yeah, to pick that wicket up, Glamorgan will be very, very happy. It almost looked like, waiting for the replay here, but it almost felt like he's done for a little bit of pace and ended up trying to pull it and ended up getting a top edge, and that ball carrying all the way down to the 3rd man area at a vacant field. There we are. Yeah, it looked like he's trying to pull that ball, so short arm jab that ball to mid wicket, and only ended up getting a top edge and carrying for a comfortable catch down to Ingram down there at 3rd man, which brings the very experienced Joe Denley to the crease.
Well, what a start for Glamorgan. Yeah, Ned Leonard, an exciting prospect who's worked his way into the team this season, and you think after what he did on Friday night he might have a little run in the side now, and does seem to bring a bit of pace.
He does, yeah, especially with this wicket. I think he will. This green grass, this fresh green grass on the wicket, it's going to skip through a little bit quicker than it normally does down here at Sophia Gardens.
A sign from Somerset last season after a spell on loan, and doing the business now. Denley straight off the mark with a comfortable 2. Good job that Kieran Carlson just had his wits about him. They were a bit slow lining up to back up that throw. And in the end it took a diving stop from the skipper to stop that one racing away to the boundary.
Very stylish batsman, Denley, isn't he?
Of course, there are 2 Denleys in the squad now.
Yep. There's a nephew and an uncle in the squad now. Yeah, Denley, very stylish. Very really looks rushed when he's playing there. So, very confident shot to mid-wicket. Not picking up a run there, but it's justified a field change, moving the slip of Ingram into that area.
Plenty of experience, Joe Denley. Of course, had his time in the England side. Oh, and again, beaten for pace there again. Good bouncer from Leonard.
Accurate, wasn't it? Slightly wide of the crease. Angle it in towards Denley's helmet there. In, yeah. Very, very, very good bouncer. Right on the money. Change of field. Fine leg comes up inside the circle, which moves third man back. We got that catch in the very first ball of this over. Just the 2 runs come from it so far, and the wicket. Glamorgan all over Kent at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, it's been a pretty dominant start so far. 2 wickets and very few runs. 11 for 2. We've got 1 ball left of the 4th. Really tight start.
Kent are yet to throw a punch, really, if this is a fight. Right against the ropes.
Both times they've tried to play a shot, they've hit it straight up in the air and got caught. So just 1 more. That's another really good over for Glamorgan. Just 3 off it and a wicket with his first ball from Ned Leonard. Fantastic stuff from him. And Kent Spitfires, well, they're struggling a bit on 12 for 2.
Yeah, this isn't what you want in the power play. And as a batter, you're thinking, right, shall we try and counter punch here? Shall we throw something back at Glamorgan, or should we try and rebuild? Because this wicket does look slightly different to what's usually on show down here at Spitfires. Does this require something that's slightly different from rather than just throwing everything at a power play and maybe playing slightly a longer game, if there is a longer game in a T20 fixture? But at the moment, they are really under the pump. Just the 12 runs from the 4 overs. Losing 2 very, very dangerous players in Beltram and Mayeye.
So it's Jamie McElroy who is going to switch ends now and come in from the Cathedral Road end. Already bowled 1 over. And right on the money again, just trying to build some pressure again here. There's already quite a lot.
It's interesting with him, man, coming off, just the 4 runs coming from his first 2. Probably kept him on.
I wonder whether they're thinking, well, they might just save him now, let Jamie McElroy have a bowl at 2 newish batsmen, and then maybe save him for later on. They need to try and wrestle some control back at another point.
Shot. A little bit more width here from McElroy.
Stan Douthwaite feeding it to deep point, backward square on the boundary for exactly that shot, when the ball goes across the right-handed batsman and allows him to use the angle to run it down into that area. There's a deep fielder square on the leg side as well. There's the 2 men out at the moment.
They'll be tempted to put a slip in here.
And that's going to be the first boundary. It's a bit streaky, but Finch has got it away.
Yeah, he's able to drag that from quite a wide, well outside off stump area, sort of between mid-wicket and mid-on. Yeah, looking to bring it back over to my side, over the leg side, and put enough on it. Ran away to the boundary. Again, not a positive 4 run. 4 runs nonetheless, but wasn't really struck with too much confidence, was it?
No. So 17 for 2. In the air. Oh, just evades. I think that's Callaway, is it? There at short mid-wicket. Well, that was only a whisker away. It's not Callaway, actually.
Is that Smale in there?
It's Smale, yeah. Already taken 1 catch, almost had a second.
Again, very similar to the previous shot that went away for 4 runs. Slightly higher on the bat, not timing it as well, and as you say, almost had a 3rd wicket up on the board.
So again, trying to get going here.
Well bowled, pace off. Good thinking from McElroy. See, eyeing up this leg side. The 2 previous shots have trying to drag to that leg side. Pace off, bring a change in the field. Obviously he's eyeing up this leg side. He's dropped Smale. That ball just dropped short of mid-wicket. He's dropped him back to mid-wicket, so you've got 2 fielders out now, out on the leg side. Deep square, deep mid-wicket. Possibly a pace-off ball again. Phew.
First shot, first attempt at anything funky. Didn't make contact.
Another good over, and lucky about 4 runs that were sort of dragged to the leg side, but very good over.
So slow progress for Kent here. 2 wickets down, 2 very good batsmen back in the pavilion. And Denley and Finch, they're looking to these two now, just to try and repair things and just get this innings started. Less than 4 and over at the moment, and it's been very slow. A lot of dot balls bowled by Glamorgan. I'm glad to say that joining me now is Cathy Wilkins, former Somerset and Glamorgan player. Great to see you. I should have said Somerset and England. Sorry, not Somerset and Glamorgan. The 2 great sides, Glamorgan and England. Often get those 2 mixed up.
Good afternoon. Good to be here. What a start.
Yeah, it's been really good.
What a start for Glamorgan. It's nice to see as well the crowd building a bit.
It's a nice afternoon, lovely afternoon to be out. Sunglasses and hats, order I think. Not boiling hot, but still really pleasant in the sunshine. There's a bit of white cloud around. As Nen Leonard is going to continue from the River Taff end. So that's a good looking shot. I think he's got all of that, and that's away. It's Denley's first boundary.
He's come out with purpose, really, hasn't he, Denley? Even though they are 2 wickets down, he hasn't changed anything about how he bats and his style, and that was, like you say, driven with absolute confidence, straight back past the bowler, down the ground for 4 runs.
Yes, the first shot that's really looked convincing. There's been one fairly streaky looking boundary, but has picked the short boundary to get his first boundary is Denley. This one, again, has timed this well. Dan Douthwaite races round and keeps them to a single. This is the last over of the power play, of course, just 6 overs before the fielding restrictions are eased, and Glamorgan will be able to put 4 fielders outside the circle at that point.
Yeah, I think, Glamorgan have taken the power play rightly in their sights, I think, and started really strongly, and I think that wind's quite deceiving. It's strong at times and then drops off quite significantly, so be interested to see how that...
Leonard's bowled him. He went for the ramp and completely missed it, and the leg stump is pegged back. So another breakthrough. Ned Leonard's golden week continues. That's his 2nd wicket of this match, his 7th of the weekend, and Kent are really in trouble now. 26 for 3. I often say, Kath, if you lose 3 wickets in a power play, well, you're really in trouble, and that's where Kent find themselves.
Absolutely, and I'm taking nothing away from Leonard, but I don't think Finch will be watching that back on the replay, because that was definitely the wrong shot to that ball. Completely misjudged it, and Leonard's just bowling stump to stump, and that's exactly what happened. Took away his leg stump right on the end.
So again, perhaps that's just the pressure building. Batsmen feeling like they've got to play a shot that's a bit unorthodox, a bit different. Looks great when it comes off.
Definitely. I think Leonard saw him coming on that replay. He almost adjusted just slightly. He saw him actually go to play that shot and just then drifted the ball slightly wider and got the absolute result.
So 26 for 3. It brings Sam Billings, the Kent captain, to the crease. Great leader. Great batter, loads of experience, great personality. Sort of person that kind of gets, whenever they're even talking about England white ball captaincy, just because of the leadership qualities that he brings, and Kent need his leadership now. He's going to have to hurry in the end. Got there comfortably. Jamie McElroy decided not to let it go, and he's off the mark straight away. Still quite sharp between the wickets. Clearly looks after himself, even though he's a player well into his 30s now.
I'm very familiar with this ground as well. He's played here a lot, so I think again showing his intent. I mean, they've got to now. I think, as Mike was saying, what do you do? Do you consolidate and rebuild, or do you just carry on as you would? And I think that's something Kent need to think about in the next over or 2 about what their strategy is going to be from here on in, with 3 wickets down. And Glamorgan pumped, and rightly so. They're very active in the field, getting through their overs quickly. It's quite an intimidating place to be, I think, for Kent at the moment.
Yeah, it's at the end of the power play. Kent are 27 for 3, and so definitely the power play goes to Glamorgan, comfortably so. They've been right on top, taking wickets at regular intervals and bowling a lot of dot balls as well. Joe Denley is the only one in doubles figures so far. He's 11 off 11.
Change of bowler.
It's Andy Gorvin.
Yeah.
Bowling his sort of medium pace bag of tricks, really. Lots of variations, but very skillful cricketer. Decided now's the time to introduce him. Kind of his pace always looks, on the face of it, a little bit innocuous, but it is the variations that he bowls.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a skillful bowler who's got all sorts of tricks. You can see as he runs up, he's hiding the ball, trying not to let the batter have any clue about what he's going to bowl.
Quite a crosswind as well coming, as you look at the screen, from left to right at the moment. So maybe use that to his advantage.
Long have dropped mid on and mid off back, as you'd expect. So they're kind of allowing him a single. Allowing them a single straight down the ground. Of course, it was very tempting to try and hit a boundary straight here. It's so short at Sapphire Gardens. The end-to-end boundary. Quite long square of the wicket into the corners. So anything sort of pitched up and in the slot, a lot of batsmen will want to have a go.
Absolutely,
and see if
yeah.
they can hit it back over the bowler's head. It's 3 singles so far from Gorvin's first 3 balls. Respectfully played by Denley. So 2 fielders on the boundary on both sides. Long on, long off. And sort of on the cover point boundary and mid-wicket and deep square leg. They're the 5.
Got him tucked up in that one. Again, it's, you know, he's covering his hands. You know, he's got really good variations. So yeah, Denley just not sure what to play on that one, and lucky it didn't creep through.
So Kent looking for Denley and Billings to get this innings going. Was in the air for a little bit. Wasn't far away from Kieran Carlson fielding at short cover. He always likes to get in close to see if he can get a catch. But a tidy start for Andy Gorvin, just 5 runs from it, and so Glamorgan are keeping things tight.
Yeah, I think, you know, so Kent Spitfires 32 for 3 off their 7 overs. But yeah, I think, you know, Glamorgan will be happy with that. Just a 1 here and there, and everything else has been really tight. So I think that they're continuing with, change of bowling again. So 2 double changes. So Dan Douthwaite coming in at the river end.
Another player who had a big game on Friday night at Taunton. All-action cricketer that he is. Smashed it around with the bat. Big hitter, and also you may have seen it on social media over the weekend, but took a brilliant diving catch as well, and also bowled the last over, which got Glamorgan over the line. So here he is now. Starts with a dot.
Dug that in a bit, but probably
Yeah,
didn't
he's
quite
a sort
get.
of, I guess he's sort of
the
a
bounce
back
he
of the
wanted.
length sort of bowler.
Yeah.
Is Dan. He's one of those guys who's looking to sort of, I guess, challenge the batsman on the back foot a bit more. Kind of jogs in and then generates all the pace from his back and shoulders.
Yeah.
I've run the first one quickly, thinking about 2. They're just going to keep it to 1 as Jamie McElroy runs in from the deep square leg boundary. Yeah, he's an all-action sort of cricketer, is Dan Douthwaite.
Yeah.
Paints in bold colours.
Worked off the hips down to.
Placed that nicely.
Yeah.
McElroy and Imad working together. Keep it to 2. Stops a 4.
boundary angles are very different actually today, aren't they? I'm very much used to on the left-hand side it being pretty much right up to the ropes there, but they've come in quite a bit, so quite central on the wicket today. But the boundary ropes are in.
Still quite a long boundary square. You've got to hit it well to clear the boundary, square of the wicket. Oh, good bouncer from Douthwaite. Just reminds Joe Denley that he can drop one in short if he needs to.
I think Denley's the key here. Can score quickly, get Kent back into more of a position than they currently are. I think that's what they'll be looking for his role to be. And obviously Billings, he plays how he plays his shots, so he'll be rotating the strike a lot, and also, you know, he hits big, as we know, in all formats, so he'll certainly be looking to capitalise where he can on those balls. But Glamorgan not giving much away at the moment, which is proving difficult for Kent to get it away.
Yeah, it does feel quiet. There's a good sprinkling of dot balls every over, and not many boundaries. Of course, now the fielders are out, those boundaries will be a little bit harder to come by. Just content for the moment, just to take the single. And 5 from Dan Douthwaite's first over, so tidy stuff from him too. It's been really good from all the bowlers so far. The pitch doesn't seem to be doing anything particularly extraordinary or unusual, so I think you can probably put this down to good bowling rather than particularly tricky conditions, because we won't really know that until both sides have had a bat on it.
Yeah.
As the crowd are there enjoying the sunshine, pint in hand, sun hat on. Very nice place to be on a Sunday afternoon here. As Kent 37 for 3 now after 8 overs, and it's Andy Gorvin who's going to continue from the Cathedral Road end. That's where we're sat in the big media box here at Sapphire Gardens, so he's running away from us here. And he's bowled him. I think he's got an inside edge on that. Billings has tried to swing it into the leg side, and all he's done is an inside edge straight into his stumps, and Gorvin strikes another big blow for Kent as the captain Sam Billings goes for just 5, and this Kent innings really wobbling now, 37 for 4.
I mean, you can see his frustration, and probably rightly so, I think, given the shot he tried to play there and played on. But yeah, that's not the shot you want to be playing to Gorvin. It dragged it straight back onto his stumps. He was trying to, you know, sweep it right across his stumps and got that horribly wrong, got the inside edge, and that took away his off stump.
It kind of looked quite premeditated, didn't it? Because he obviously set his mind to play the sweep and to attack an area, but then the ball was a bit wide, and therefore he couldn't really get the ball where he wanted it. So Gorvin strikes, and Kent, well, a very tough situation they find themselves in as Joey Everson comes out into the middle now to join Joe Denley, who's roughly run a ball 17 so far. Glamorgan right on top. And this, I guess, is the dilemma that Kent have now. I was talking to Matt Maynard in the last game here, and he says you've still got to have intent as a batting side, even when you're struggling, because if you just decide to consolidate for too long and push it around, well, you probably won't set a total that will challenge the other side anyway. So this is the dilemma they're in.
Yeah, absolutely.
How hard do they push? Because if they do push and it comes off for 5, 6, 7 overs, they could get themselves up to a decent total, but things are looking difficult at the moment. But Everson straight off the mark, just sneaking one past Kieran Carlson at short cover, whose despairing dive failed to lay a hand on it.
Yeah, I think you're right. If you adjust too much, then you lose your natural style and your game. But I think Joe Denley's probably hoping someone can stay around for a bit with him.
Oh, Gorvin strikes again.
With that commentator's curse, you're all welcome.
Brilliant bowling from Andy Gorvin. That's his second wicket of the over. He's taken out the 2 big batters, Denley and Billings, both bowled. And really, this Kent Spitfires innings is in absolute tatters. 38 for 5 in the 9th over, and Glamorgan are dominating the first quarter of the game.
They really are. And I think that nips back in. We'll see on the replay, but I think Joe Denley just got his line all wrong there, and Gorvins definitely was doing something with the ball. So if you can see that replay, but yeah, I mean, what a wicket to get. That's, I mean, all of them are key, but that certainly is one that Glamorgan would be pumped to see Joe Denley walking back to the pavilion. So
just shaped it in, a little bit of in-swing there, and that's what did for him. Tried to work it into the leg side, and it swung between
really
bat and pad and hit Midland leg. Lovely piece of bowling. Skillful stuff. And now we are moving towards the tail already in the 9th over here. 5 wickets down.
Brings Jack Meaning into bat.
So Glamorgan have got a slip in here. They're going really attacking now. They could get a couple more wickets pretty quickly. Well, I think that will be utterly decisive. Slip and short cover in. Short catches on both sides, in fact. Meaning's off the mark with a single. But it's going to take a lot to be able to recover from this situation now. They haven't managed to put together an over where they've got more than one decent shot away, really. Pulls hard into the mid-wicket area. Don't think he's got enough on it to beat the fielder down there.
Crowd appreciating that one. Great dive, covering the
It's
sweep
Ned
boundary.
Leonard, I think, doing the work down there on the boundary.
Brings a change of field, so dropping.
Ben Kellaway's dropped out to deep mid-wicket. So it's Ned Leonard again running in from deep square leg now where he's moved to. They're going to come back for 2. Oh, and he's missed this one. So I think that second run, in the end, more comfortable than it might have otherwise have been. Well, we'll forgive him that after the way he's bowled.
Good over. Good over.
43 for 5. And a brilliant over for Glamorgan again. 2 of the big batters gone now for Kent. And, well, how do they come back from this?
Yeah, I think it's, coming up to the 10th over, so they don't have many batters left to come back in. So what's key, I think, for Kent here is one of them decides to, to be the attacking player and just sort of try and put a bit more pressure back on Glamorgan. It's just all too easy for them at the moment. There's, they're only taking the singles, haven't had a boundary for a while. So I think, one of them has to decide that they're the one to go for it and just sort of try and put a bit more pressure back on the bowlers, because at the moment Glamorgan are absolutely cruising.
43 for 5, Kent, and Glamorgan turned to the pace of Ned Leonard. 2 for 11 from his 2 overs so far. And that's the first wide of the day. Just drifted down leg side.
I think it's a good move to bring him back in as well. Keen to try and wrap things up as quickly as they can on the back of that fifer against Somerset. He's absolutely pumped at the moment, I'm sure. So, yeah, definitely bring him back into the attack. 2 for 12 already.
Looks like he might be trying to fire that one into the block hole, but just missed.
Just worked away through the cover for a single.
So there's a calm feel around the place. Like Glamorgan have everything under control. They have Kent where they want them at the moment. There is that slight air of relaxed calm in the crowd as well at the moment. They've had plenty to enjoy from a Glamorgan perspective. 5 wickets in these first 9 overs.
Imagine they don't want to leave their seats to go and get the ice cream or the cold drink, because it's all happening.
And just another single. As Andy Gorvin does the fielding down there at third man. They won't mind this, just a few singles. So there's been a constant tumble of wickets.
That's what's, they haven't been able to settle, have they? That's, Kent haven't been able to build any platform to work from.
Good bouncer again, well directed from Ned Leonard. He's quite sharp. That's what Glamorgan liked about him when they got him from Somerset, was they didn't have many players in their ranks who could really kind of bowl mid-80s, I think, and that's why they wanted him, I think. And he's shown that he is quite sharp. Got a nice fluent run-up. And a well-directed bouncer, certainly in this game. Got a couple of really nice ones.
Tried to tease him with sticking the leg out there as if he was going to play a different shot, but Leonard spotted it and carried on straight into his stride.
Yeah, a little shuffle. Don't think he changed what he bowled much in the end, but...
No.
Well, Kent have got to do something, really. If they go on like this, well, they're going to have a score less than 100, which you would think would not challenge Glamorgan, even on a relatively bad day. So they're going to have to try and find some boundaries from somewhere. Helping them out, just falling away, I think.
Yeah,
As he, another one just sliding down the leg side.
Kent don't seem to have the answers at the moment. So we're coming up to almost the 10th over for today. So again, they've taken a single. But ones isn't going to get them where they need to be in a 20 over game. So
no, it's, I suppose, it's fine if you're getting the boundaries as well to tick the ball around. You can get 8s, 9s without doing too much if you've got one boundary and over, but they're not really getting those at the moment. It's just the singles with the odd 2 here and there. Been helped out with a couple of wides this over from Ned Leonard, but they've still not really managed to capitalise. Even with those, they've only taken 5 from this over so far. Oh, well bowled.
He's
and
got
it's gone. Nice little catch by Alex Horton as well, diving low to his right, and Ned Leonard strikes again, and his hot streak of form continues. That's his 3rd wicket of the day, his 8th of the weekend. And it's Everson, who's not lasted long. He's gone for 6 after just 4 balls. And Kent deep in the mire at 48 for 6.
yeah, that's a great take as well. That was a great take from behind the stumps. He stood quite far back because obviously Leonard's bowling at quite a pace, but he dived really well to take that. So Horton taking a brilliant catch behind the stumps. And yeah, Spitfires, 48 for 6.
Well, I'm just going to do a bit of maths here now, because I'm hoping that I might get some of the dot balls up and just to count the number of dot balls they've been so far, because there have been loads. They've just disappeared from my screen. I'm hoping they're going to re-emerge shortly. But Kent struggling. Mayeye 6, Daniel Bell-Drummond just 2, Harry Finch 7, Joe Denley 17, Sam Billings 5, Joe Everson 6. And all the Glamorgan bowlers doing a great job, but it's Ned Leonard leading the way again with 3 for 16. Gorvin 2 for 11. They really have done the damage. And the other wicket taker, Imad Wasim, is coming back on now here from the Cathedral Road end, as Mike Powell slides back in alongside me again. Wasim took a wicket. He's 1 for 4. Very miserly. Has bowled 8 dot balls from his first 12 deliveries. So that tells you the story. Thought briefly about a second there as Kieran Carlson dived and just managed to, couldn't quite lay a hand on that one.
Yes, you put yourself now in the shoes of the Kent batsman, going, right, what do we need? What have we got left, and what do we need? I mean, for me, I think Kent have got to get to a 120. That anything below that is far too easy for Glamorgan. So, right, how can we get to that figure in the just under 10 overs that are left? So
That'll be a wide.
Can we get that 7 and over? All of a sudden, go right. They're obviously not going to get to a 160 or 170. It's not going to be that type of game for Kent. Some sort of miracle happens. But I think if you set your stall and go, okay, can we get to that 120 and possibly sneak up to that 130? Then all of a sudden, well, 1, 2, 3 wickets go down for Glamorgan quite early, and all of a sudden, right, we've got a game.
This is the thing. It's the intent.
Yes.
It feels the kind of we just can't lose any more wickets. Feels like the default psychological thing to do.
Yep.
But if they do that, their score is going to be so low that there's not really going to be a game anyway.
But we're 3 off 3 balls at the moment with that wide in there. So all of a sudden, okay, right, let me squeeze another 4 off this. Let's move on. Let's try and build something. Try and get to that 120.
He thought about sweeping that one. I think he seemed to change his mind mid-delivery.
Yeah, there's very few fielders on the leg side. So you've got your mid-wicket in on the single, but you've got deep square. There's maybe 1 or 2 out to him, and then the third man very wide. There'll be 2 runs out to him either side of him. So that's why he's looking to move that ball round to the leg side. A little bit of width from him, man. Pick up that single. 4 off the over with the wide. 1 ball to go. All of a sudden, again, it's Glamorgan's over. There needs to be a boundary in here to come out with our 7 or 8 from this over. So again, it's sort of they've gone into this over not really understanding where they want to be, or and reassessing the score of where they need to be. And as batsmen in this sort of level, you're constantly doing that ball by ball, really.
Well, there's no one saving 1 on the leg side at all.
Yeah, I mean,
really well bowled.
4 off the over. Imad's last ball with a slip in place as well. It's almost rubbing salt in the wound. And yeah, at the moment, Kent all at sea, not really know where to stick or twist. 6 down, 52 on the board, 11 overs. Fine over from Imad from this Cathedral Road end. Glamorgan in full control.
And is there a reason, Mike, why, as Kent try and work out what they do in this situation, are they thinking about things like net run rate?
No.
That wouldn't be something in your mind?
No, win the game. Win the game. These two are fighting for that 4th spot at the moment. Glamorgan absolutely bossing it in that 4th spot, let alone this game. I mean, a real good win done in Somerset Friday night, and they're backing it up again in the first half of this game.
So Dan Douthwaite returns from the River Taff end, and that's a nice looking shot. It's going to go all the way for 4, and a welcome boundary for Kent.
And we're into the 12th over, and that's the first shot with any authority from any Kent batsman. Little bit of space, little bit of width, give himself a bit of room, beating Carlson to dive into his left-hand side and race away for 4 runs. Lovely shot.
It was. He didn't hit it too hard, just played it nicely, used the pace. Good little shuffle.
Ooh. Misfield.
Yeah, Ned Leonard it was, who was coming across. If he'd picked that up cleanly, he would have definitely had a chance of a direct hit. I think Leaning would have been struggling.
Yeah, and he was almost on his way into the stumps as well. Pick it up, underarm. Oh, unlucky. There would have been another opportunity, but I think that's where Kent are at the moment. You've got to gamble on those singles. Yeah, I just don't think Kent. I don't think it's this kind of wicket and where they're at the moment where they're going to go, I tell you what, we're going to hit a 20 off this over, we're going to hit a 20 off that over, and all of a sudden we're up to a score that we're happy with and we can bat reasonably sensible. I think it's going to be one of those wickets where you accumulate, and I think if they ended up with, for argument's sake, they take my advice, not that they should, and they end up with a 120, and it's a really close game, I think, oh, hang on, if we ended up with a 135, we would have won this. Shot.
Now that is a shot of authority. We haven't seen many, but it's Rogers, the Aussie all-rounder, who is perhaps the one who's going to bring a bit of that Aussie fire, that Aussie grit.
Yeah, that's loose from Douthwaite there, short. A nothing ball really, wasn't really high enough, wasn't really full enough. It was just that in-between, nice sort of pace to hit, and Rogers has pounced on that and hammed it away to the leg side.
So a couple of boundaries. Don't think that's happened yet in an over. Oh, it could be another one. And that one's gone all the way. Bisected the two fielders, and it's a maximum. Well, Kent are going to need a few more overs like this if they're going to get back into it. It's 15 from the first 5 overs of this Dan Douthwaite over. And it's the first over which Kent, you'd say, have had the upper hand.
Again, a little bit short, a bit of a sight of the ball before. Similar sort of line, some sort of length, dealt with in a similar sort of fashion.
Finishes with a dot, but a relatively expensive over in the context of the game, and much needed from Kent's perspective. It's 67 for 6 now. Thank you. As a much needed coffee arrives in the scorebox. It's sort of iced coffee weather, I think, but those facilities are not available, as I understand. I certainly haven't found them yet here in the scoreboard.
You're showing your upbringing there anyway.
Was it iced coffee?
Yes.
Bit posh?
Yeah, a bit posh.
So, lager top might be more your thing, is it?
Just Stella Bella, I reckon.
So it's Andy Gorvin, bowled beautifully so far, who's returning at the Cathedral Road end.
It's Gorvin's type of wicket, isn't it? Nibbling around a bit. Number of different slower balls. It'd be very difficult to face on this, and especially with someone like Gorvin bowling as well. And you're looking to try and get on top of him, and you're looking to try and force the run rate, and he's got a lot in his armoury to sort of slow you down.
Just to get your views, Mike, you've talked about the wicket and how it's played after this ball. Well, it's just going to be a single, I think, for leaning, as Jamie McElroy does the fielding down there in front of the pavilion. So yeah, I mean, what sort of, you said it's a wicket that's nibbling around a bit, well suited to Andy Gorvin. I mean, it hasn't done anything crazy, has it?
No, it's not a bad wicket. I'm not saying that at all. I think what you have for batting second on this wicket, you've actually seen how it plays. And when you know you're chasing, for argument's sake, let's say 100 runs, for argument's sake, that they're going to chase down, you know what's happening to the wicket, you know what's happening in the outfield, you can pace yourself, you can accelerate if you want, and you can take as much time as you want. When you're trying to set a total on these kind of wickets.
And that's another wicket. Gorvin has struck again, a little tickle on it, and Alex Horton standing up takes the catch. And that's Rogers, wow, the one player who's really looked like he had the mindset to get Kent back into this game. Well, he's had a flash at one.
Yeah, Rogers,
the faintest of tickles.
Disappointed there, Roger. Looking back as he's walking off back to the pavilion, being given out by White the umpire. He's still looking back. I think he's disappointed, shaking his head. I can't see how that could have hit anything but bat on ball. So wide. Comfortable catch behind, smartly taken.
It had the look, didn't it? Everyone seemed so sure. Everyone else,
Horton straight out with ball in hand. But I think Rogers more disappointed in how can I get out to a delivery like that. As we look at the replay here, so wide. Yeah, that's hit the bat here. Horton straight gone up. Rogers disappointed. I think he's more disappointed in how could I hit a half volley so wide and just nick it to the keeper. Yeah. So I think that's where he's disappointed. I can't see how that would have hit, his bat would hit the floor or any other noise.
Nice bit of work from Horton. Made that look easy as
well,
well, standing up.
Very smart. I think those standing up as a keeper, they either stick or they don't. I think you can't react. You're not reacting in any way. I mean, if anything, you're looking to take the ball in your right hand, and if the edges, it goes up in your left hand. That's all you can go with, but smartly taken.
Well, that plopped straight into the middle of the glove, didn't it? He made that look very easy. So 3 wickets for Andy Gorvin. Great performance from him. And Klassen now.
I mean, look, a slip in place in the 13th over here to a medium pace bowl. I mean, it's. I mean, Glamorgan are in the driving seat here. This is looking very easy for them.
Certainly is so far. 68 for 7, Kent. Maybe thinking about 2 here, but no. Only going to be 1. This is no time for a overly risky run out.
Again, assessing. 7 overs left, just over. What can we get to? This gives us a small chance to win this game if you're a Kent supporter or Kent player.
Another dot ball. There have been too many from a Kent perspective. And a round of applause from this knowledgeable Sapphire Gardens crowd as Andy Gorvin trots away to his fielding position, taking the high fives amid Wasim as he goes. He's now got 3 wickets in this excellent Glamorgan bowling display. These fans have been treated to something very good from the Glamorgan bowlers.
Looks like McRae's going to be given the ball. Bit of a tough end. I mean, in this sort of situation, begging the captain to get the ball in your hand and have a bowl.
Yeah, well, he's hasn't taken a wicket, but has been nice and tidy. Just 12 runs from his 2 overs so far.
Bit of bowling, bit of batting from McRae. James Harris's stunt double in his spare time.
Well, it's a good look, isn't it? It's a good look. So here he goes, left arm over. Uses the angle. There does Klassen. It's just going to be 1.
Yeah, for me, for my money, can you get to 120? I mean, look, there's 3 wickets in hand. It's a tall ask. That'd probably be my target if I was out there batting for Kent.
I suppose when you say it's 50 from 42 balls, doesn't seem crazy, does it? But
3 wickets, it's your
yeah,
your worst batsman at the crease.
yeah. Ooh. Only a whisker away, that one.
Yeah, he's a clean striker of the bowling and has done a very good job for Kent over the years, and just seemed to have a little bit of room to that leg side, trying to open up that offside, looking to run the ball down to that 3rd man area. Obviously no slip in place for McRae at the moment.
No, his feet were kind of off the floor as the ball went past there, weren't they? So you didn't have a good base to hit it. Again, another dot ball. It's Kieran Carlson, the captain, in there in his customary position at short cover.
Yeah, he's just signalled there, he's just caught her on camera there, he's just signalled to his fine leg him to come up inside the inner circle. Only because leaning, he's looking to open up this offside field. He's dropped his mid-wicket back to, so his mid-wicket inside the inner circle, back on the boundary. So deep square, deep mid-wicket, deep long on. McRae following, leaning down the leg side.
Quickly. I'm going to come back for 2. It's going to be tight.
Ooh, I think that would have been out if hit. But yeah, picking up the 2, yeah, leaning, just giving himself a little bit of room. McRae up to task, follow him down that leg side. Kent scamper through for a couple of runs, much needed runs.
Oh, could have been a caught bowl. It was a sharp chance. Oh, McElroy shakes his head. He thought he'd got it, but somehow it jumped out of his hands.
Yeah, he disappointed there. He actually had a little bit more time than he thought. He got 2 hands to it and actually moved his body just slightly there. So he thought he had control of it. Unfortunately, just palming the ball out.
Such a hard thing, isn't it? There is that moment as fast ball where you probably think this is going to hit me in the teeth, and so there's an instinctive physical reaction to get your hands up.
It's a skill, isn't it?
Yeah. Slapped down there. Not just be a single. Ace of Tribe hasn't had too many come in his direction in the field so far today. One of the younger guard in this Glamorgan team, who are bringing a bit of an edge to the fielding. So at the end of the 14th over, 73 for 7 Kent Spitfires now, and they have it all to do. Mike Powell said 120 ought to be their target.
Yeah, the thing, I said that sort of 3-4 overs ago now, and they've only picked 3 or 4 runs up here over in that time. You're wasting all of these runs where trying to overhit it, trying to give yourself a bit of room. It's almost like a bit of old school sort of 50 over style of batting for the remainder of what would have been from the 11th over onwards. So yeah, they're missing out on this opportunity. I think they're going to fall well short of that 120.
So Ahmed Wasim miserly so far. He's only gone for 8 runs from his first 3 overs. This is his last over, and he has given very little away. 11 dot balls in those first 3 overs from Ahmed. Showing all his skill and experience. Has brought a real element of control. which has been brilliant from a Glamorgan perspective. Bit of width this time, and he's managed to thread that through between the two fielders. The chase is on, and the ball beats Dan Douthwaite. That's a much-needed boundary.
Yeah, what a lovely shot that was. Using the pace of the ball off Imad's bowling and perfectly pierced those two fielders there. Behind point on the offside. Lovely shot.
Yeah, it was the placement there that was key. He didn't try and hit it very hard, just ran it off the face. And
I think it's an old school glance, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is an old school shot.
This one's straighter.
Much better line, isn't it? Wide of the crease, finding off stump.
So I think that's probably the first boundary that Imad has conceded. It's such a tight display from him. Won't mind that, just a single, does the fielding off his own bowling. Got a bit cloudy here now. Some sort of big cumulus clouds have drifted over. We're looking to our left here where the weather normally comes from, and I think we're going to be okay.
Not a bad crowd. Always suffers a crowd here on a Sunday. There's a bit more going on, a bit more club cricket. There's more support on the Fridays down there at T20, but not a bad crowd.
That's a nice looking shot. Good piece of fielding down there though by Jamie McElroy. Well, rolling back the years there is the big fast bowler. Lovely slide. Doing a good job for his team. Backing the bowlers up.
Again, I mean, what we picked out, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 runs from this over. A ball to go. I think they could have done with a few more like this. It's not been extraordinary shots. It's not been extravagant in any shape or form, but they've picked up what is needed from this over. Again, single off the last. Lovely. 9 off the over. Just need to string a number of these overs together, get up to some sort of target for Glamorgan to chase.
Well, yeah, perhaps that is the paradigm, the exemplar that Kent need to follow, the way to keep the ball ticking along, ticking round the ground, finding the gaps without taking too many risks. They've got 9 and over there off Glamorgan's meanest bowler, Imad Wasim, who's just finished his spell. I'll give you the figures in a moment. So yeah, Imad Wasim finished for 1 for 17 from his 4 overs. Half of what he bowled were dot balls, 12 dots, and that tells its story. Economy rate of just over 4. As Dan Douthwaite returns from the River Taff end. Oof. They've run 2 there. That'll be disappointing from a Glamorgan perspective. That should only really have been 1. But there was a bit of a misfield down there.
Yeah, to pick up on Mike's point that he just made on the previous over, you know, 9 runs scored sort of innocuously, really, just sort of worked it around. And, you know, that's what they need to do a bit more, the Spitfires, just to bring that total up near the 120 where they can for the last 5 overs to play. So just working the ball down the ground on that one. But again, that's already 3 off the first 2 balls.
Well, there haven't been many boundaries. There are a few gaps around the place, but no batter really, apart from Rogers, who came in and struck a couple of full-blooded shots into the leg side. But no one else has really kind of taken the attack to Glamorgan. Perhaps it is more about running those 2s and just trying to place the ball into the gaps rather than smash it. Certainly what seems to have been working just in the last couple of overs.
Again, just worked off the legs there into the mid.
So it could be a bit annoying for Glamorgan if the tail hang around too much. Their dream would be to bowl them out and get this innings done. And Kent trying to find that balance between batting, using all the balls that are available and making sure they complete their 20 overs, but also trying to get as many runs as they can and not just going into their shell. And they found a reasonable balance. Certainly Klassen and Leaning have. Slight misfield again from Gorvin, just allows them to scramble home for a single.
Luckily he was positioned in the right place there, because that was going at quite the pace. There is someone backing up at deep third, but yeah, misfield as you say, but certainly could have been more. Slightly to the left or the right of him.
So the run rate creeping up now to just over 5.5. So that represents something of a recovery, but ooh, good bouncer.
Nice
to the tail ender. Alex Horton has kept nicely. Fought his way into the side, replacing Chris Cook, who's had a difficult time with the bat in this competition. But Alex Horton has been in really good form and has played 1 or 2 very powerful innings in second 11 cricket. Deserves his chance.
Wide given, there was an appeal. Optimistic one, I think. So wide given.
One of those just to try and persuade the umpire not to give the wide, I think. Yeah. But it just still has a quiet feel of things that, the sense that things are under control. Which you have to say, Glamorgan would definitely have taken this scoreline in the 16th over at the start of this Kent innings.
For a quick one, he's took a quick single there.
Might just have got home, but would have been tight.
Would have been tight. I think that's Carlson in there.
So 89 for 7, Kent Spitfires now. Just 4 overs to go in this innings. Only three wickets left for Glamorgan to take to wrap things up here.
Like you say, they'll be looking to do that now more than ever, I think, because these two are ticking along. That run rate's just slowly creeping up, 5.6 now. But it'd be frustrating, I think, for Glamorgan that if they don't, capitalise on this great start that they've had, to, like you say, wrap up the tail. Oh, it's bumped straight back to the bowler. That's a great caught in bowl by Gorvin, who's had a brilliant day today so far off his 3 overs. So
it's the magic arm of Andy Gorvin.
Yep.
His 4th wicket. Always something seems to happen when he's got the ball in his hand, and it has again. Then has broken this partnership, which was just helping Kent just to move towards a total of some respectability. And again, Andy Gorvin with that variation has got one to stick in the pitch. A leading edge. Thank you very much. Straight back into his hands.
Yeah. Any of those youngsters watching, the importance of following through on your bowling action is exactly this reason why. Gorvin's still following through. Pumped straight back to him. Easy catch taken. Brilliantly done. That brings Gilchrist to the crease. Kent Spitfires 89 for 8 in the 16th over, and Gorvin with a brilliant 4 for 13 so far off 3.1.
So Gilchrist, tall man, will he get those long levers going and try and send a few into the stand? That's certainly what the Kent supporters will be hoping, but let's see, it's not an easy time to come in. And Gorvin, very tight, bowling straight, not giving him any width.
He's running back to his mark. He's absolutely pumped, isn't he? I mean, the cut-off is, in 10 minutes' time. I think Glamorgan should be fine for that, but they're obviously looking to make sure that they don't have any fielding restrictions by not making that time.
Well, I don't think he's actually stopped jogging, really, for the last sort of minute. He's basically just on a constant loop of jogging in, bowling, doing his own fielding, then jogging back to the mark and all action
setting the
stuff.
standard for sure.
Bit of width on this one, and that's been well hit. Nice piece of fielding, good work from Jamie McElroy. Just keeps it to 1. Well, we had a fifer for Ned Leonard on Friday night, and the fifer puts you up into the top 10 all-time T20 performances if you get 5. And this one's going to be pretty close from Andy Gorvin. 4 for 14. Well, that'll be highly competitive on the all-time list, you'd think.
Yeah.
I'll have to look those up in the interval and let you know, but
He tried to push that one a little wider, and it has been given as a wide. It felt like it was close to that line. Yeah, I can see why he's a little disappointed with that. Worked into point field, or they went to field quickly, but no need. They've got the 1 run.
So, just singles. But Kent have got this over. They need a little bit more than that. And these wickets are just, every time a bit of momentum, is generated, well, it all leaks away when the wicket is taken. And that's a kind of a tennis shot. Very Wimbledon style, that one. Kind of a good forehand there. Slapped it straight back through mid-off. And that brings to an end a fantastic spell from Andy Gorvin. No wonder he's getting the applause from the Sapphire Gardens crowd here. 4 for 17. Outstanding bowling from Andy Gorvin. And he really has put Glamorgan in the box seat here, in the driving seat in this crucial Vitality Blast game.
Yeah, he absolutely deserves that applause. Absolutely brilliant bowling today. They never, Kent never got on top of him at all. He just kept bowling his variations and doing that so brilliantly. So, yeah, really well bowled indeed.
So we've only had the 5 bowlers so far. No sign of Ben Kellaway, who of course bowls a lovely bit of spin with both arms, but they haven't bowled him yet. The ball's been thrown back to Ned Leonard, who is on a bit of a hot streak himself. 3 for 16 so far from his 3 overs. Quick right arm bowler. Let's see what he can do. Can he get another wicket?
Quick single taken. Played down into the pitch. But yeah, I think, Leonard again's bowled brilliantly today on the back of that performance at Somerset on Friday. He'll be looking to at least get one more in this over if he can.
So there's only 2 wickets left to get now. So I suppose if he's going to back it up with a double fifer, this will be the over to do it. Well, he's going to have to do it now. But wouldn't put it past him. Got a short third man and a backward point.
Oh, flat back. Flat bats even. Didn't go anywhere. They're looking for 2 though. Quick running between the wickets. Oh. Did make their ground, but good fielding from Glamorgan. But yeah, a bit of Wimbledon fever going on for Kent in the last few shots.
Slapped it up in the air there, tennis style, but there's such wide open spaces. The only fielders on the leg side around on the boundary, so it sort of landed safely into no man's land. You've got to hit one quite well to get caught here, because the fielders are so deep on that leg side boundary. Gives himself some room and slaps that one.
Ooh.
And that one has gone. A flat 6 for Leaning. Well, he's the sole point of resistance here now. And that's a much needed boundary which takes Kent past the 100 mark. 102 for 8 now. And they'll be glad to see finally get into 3 figures. It didn't look like they were going to make it at some stages in this innings. But that is a good clean strike.
Yeah, like you say, flat back, kept quite low. Looked like the fielder might have been in with a chance there, but was always going over that rope that's in quite significantly. So a great 6, like you say, Leaning, keeping Kent's hopes alive to get closer to 120 if they can.
Well, Leaning into the 30s now. Nice looking drive. Put some pressure on the fielder. And home for a comfortable single. So a better over for this. And that 120 target that we've been talking about, well, it's definitely within their grasp. They don't have to do anything too crazy to get there. They'll be thinking, now, can we just post a total that if they can take a few early wickets when Glamorgan are batting, well, who knows? This is up in the air, and I think this is going to be out.
Yeah.
It is. Ned Leonard takes his 4th wicket, and Gilchrist goes.
Got caught up in that really, didn't he? It sort of came back in, so he didn't get anything on it, top of the bat more than anything, and just easy catch into the covers.
So another catch for Will Smale in the covers. He won't get many easier than that.
So the final batter comes to the crease. Glamorgan already set. They sort of didn't say they wouldn't celebrate it, but they sort of just got back to their mark to get back into position, ready for the last batter to come to the crease.
So it's Matt Parkinson. Leg spinner. You know him, had a little run in the England side.
He did.
He didn't last long in the England side, I think.
So we're going to.
He's not in that. He wasn't in the England side for his batting.
Yeah. So 1 ball to go. Can Leonard get a fifer again? here today. Not to be.
The answer is no, sadly, but it's still a very, very fine performance from Ned Leonard. 4 for 26. What a weekend he had. 9 wickets in 2 games. Another outstanding contribution. And he really has helped Glamorgan to restrict this Kent innings to what has been slim pickings, really. It's certainly not going to be a big total. And the job now for Dan Dalthwaite, I think is going to take the next over, and then probably it'll be Jamie McElroy by the looks of things taking the last. Can they keep them to below 120? That sort of runnable psychological milestone. So Dan Dalthwaite bowled a brilliant death over at Taunton on Friday night with lots of pressure on him. What can he produce now? His leanings on 32 not out.
Oh!
I think it's a bounce ball.
It is, but
the crowd
what?
thought it was a catch.
What a piece of
fielding. I think it's a bounce ball, but that is a ridiculous take. He's an all-action cricketer, is Dan Dalthwaite, because he did take an amazing caught and bowled on Friday night, but actually he overstepped as well on that one. It was a no ball, so it's a free hit. There he is. Just a
change of end for him as well, isn't it?
So free hit. And rather disappointing. Went for the ramp with third man up and didn't make contact. Looks a bit disappointed. Does Leaning. He's played really well, really. Jack Leaning has hung around much longer than anyone else in this Kent innings. And he's helping them to get towards respectability. Nice looking cover drive. But picks out the man, and Dan Dalthwaite ends up flat on his belly.
He's struggling with this end. You can see the footmarks where he's actually slipping on his front foot, so not sure if it's...
Yeah, he's just checked the bottom of his trainers. Yeah. Not sure if he's a slightly longer spike or what, but putting so much effort in. I think that's the thing. He generates so much of his pace from his action.
And it goes all through that front leg, doesn't it? So
throwing himself off his feet. Another dot ball, nicely bowled. The wide Yorker. More fashionable than the straight Yorker these days in white ball cricket, it seems.
Yeah, Leaning's getting quite frustrated here because he's missed out on a free hit and another dot ball. He drilled that last one, but for no run. So it's 3 dot balls.
And he's got cover down there square on the deep on the offside, 2 fielders down there. So that sort of wide and full delivery would make sense, you'd think. Goes for it again, but dragged across to the other side. It's only going to be 1. It's 106 for 9. Now Kent, which is 8 balls to go now in this innings. Another 14 runs would get them to that little psychological milestone of 120 run a ball. They've not yet managed to get above 6 and over in this innings at all. Been pegged back right from the beginning. Lost their first wicket with just 7 on the board. They were 9 for 2 and 26 for 3 in the power play, and it's been pretty tough going ever since. Yeah, he's trying to fire in the wide Yorkers here. Doing it nicely. Bowling to his field. Guess has become one of the death ball specialists in this side. So, should be the last ball of his spell.
Yep.
Can he get a wicket? They decide not to take it. Yep. Decide not to take it. They think their best chance, Kent, is to have Jack Leaning on strike for the final over. And that's the end of an always entertaining, always eventful spell from Dan Dalthwaite. He finishes with 0 for 30. No wicket for 30, and it is going to be Jamie McElroy to bring this Kent innings to a close. McIlroy, no wicket, but he's been pretty miserly. Only 16 runs from his 3 overs. And this Glamorgan crowd have been treated to a very tidy bowling and fielding performance. That's big.
Yep.
And that's gone all the way. Well, Jack Leaning, some late resistance from him. 39 from 35, and that was his biggest shot yet. Picked up a low full toss and sent that sailing over the mid-wicket boundary.
Yeah, he absolutely. I think he's set his mind what he's doing for this over anyway, but he absolutely got a hold of that. Like I say, low full toss.
Shorter, slower ball, and they decide not to run,
Yep.
interestingly. So, looks like Matt Parkinson might just be up the other end watching for the rest of this innings. Yeah, Leaning the standout performer with the bat for Kent in this innings. He's only one of 3 players to get into double figures. He's got, the others were Tom Rogers got 11, Joe Denley 17. Well, he's far ahead of them. 39 from 36, 1 4 and 2 6s.
I mean, you can see what Leaning's trying to do here. He's opened his stance. He's basically trying to hit everything leg side.
Nice bit of variation from McIlroy there. Took all the pace off it as it dribbled through to Alex Horton, the wicket-keeper.
So you shuffle across the stumps again, just trying to throw the kitchen sink at it to try and pull it over onto that leg side, where it is a slightly shorter boundary, but you've still got to get hold of it quite well.
He was a little bit off balance with that one, wasn't he? Sort of swinging round.
Dug in short. Nicely bowled. So 6 and then 3 dot balls.
It's been a good comeback from McIlroy. So 112 for 9, 2 balls left. Almost challenging him now with those 2 fielders out on the leg side. Can you hit it over our heads? And a nice mix. Slow ball bouncer, slow ball pitched up, a quick bouncer. What now? Oh, goodness me, that's hit Matt Parkinson straight in the head. Oh dear. He just did not see that coming. It was hit like a tracer bullet off the back of Jack Leaning.
His arm, I think, rather than his head, hopefully.
Just like it's just got him on the shoulder, has it? Well, let's hope so.
His arm, I think.
Let's hope so. He collapsed in a heap as soon as it hit him. I think it is his right shoulder. Let's look again. He hit that so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, just got his hand up to protect himself as well. Oh, we don't want to see this. Let's hope that Matt Parkinson is okay. And the good news is, I think he's up on his feet.
Good reception from the crowd as well. He's all right. Though he's taking a little time just to probably get his heart rate back down to normal, perhaps. But, yeah, he, like you say, luckily just about saw it in the nick of time and turned his shoulder onto it and got his hand up just to protect himself.
Well, that's his bowling shoulder, which will be of concern to Kent's side. He'll need to rush off and get some ice on that as we have the last ball of the innings now. Well, we're glad he's okay. As Leaning hits this hard, and that's going to a maximum as well.
Yep.
It's hit into the Kent dugout, and they finish with a 6. Leaning is 45 not out, has batted really well, the only point of resistance, as Kent Spitfires finish their innings 118 for 9. And Glamorgan will be delighted that they have to go at less than run on the ball to win this game. So, Kath, quick thought from you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, brilliant from Glamorgan right from the off. I think they certainly were in control for pretty much the whole game. There was a couple of overs where, Kent did capitalise and scored 9 10s, and that sort of quick fire hitting from Rogers, did bring that run rate up for Kent. But I think Glamorgan are going into that changing room really pleased with how well they've done today. Some great bowling performances again. And, yeah, I think they'll be confident coming out, looking to get those runs as quickly as they can.
So 119 to win for Glamorgan.
Yep.
And before we go and have our little half-time cup of tea, just have someone introduced to you today. So today, Glamorgan have got a young reporter here at the ground. His name is Harry Jones, and Harry is now going to slide into the commentary seat as Kath makes way. Well, Harry, very nice to meet you. Tell me, how's it going today? I've seen you on the big screen, looking like a proper celebrity. What's your responsibility been so far today?
I did an interview with Dan Douthwaite, and I've been interviewing, just speaking, say how's your game going.
Oh, amazing. I tell you what, why don't you look into that camera there and give everyone a wave at home as well? You see the little camera just there? Look, good. So you're on the Glamorgan live stream now. We're broadcasting around the world, across Wales as well, to people who are watching this game. And so tell me, how much of a cricket fan are you, Harry? Tell me about how much you like it.
I'm a huge cricket fan, huge Glamorgan fan, Welsh Fire. Any game down to Fire Gardens, I'm normally here.
Well, that's good. Do you play a bit?
Yeah, I played for Vale CC.
Oh, very good. How are you getting on this season?
Good.
You had any runs or wickets?
I've had 17 in my last game.
Tidy. That sounds really, really good. Well, playing in the league over there in the East Wales League. Fantastic. And so tell me about, do you want to be a reporter or a player? What would you like to do? Is this something you'd like to do, to talk about cricket?
Yeah, I would like to be a cricket player and then retire and then come into a broadcaster.
I think that's the dream thing, isn't it? Well, see, I missed out on the first bit there. Was never good enough as a player, but I'm lucky enough to talk about it a little bit. And so we're keen, before we go for our half-time break, Harry, just tell us, what have you made of the Kent innings so far, and what did you think of the way that Glamorgan bowled and fielded?
It's been brilliant how the Glamorgan bowled. I think Ned Leonard and Andy Govin bowled brilliantly, both taking 4 wickets, and Ned Leonard's been in brilliant form, hasn't he? 5 for and a 4 for in his last 2 games.
Yeah, he has. Absolutely outstanding. And that's very, very good analysis. Well, you need to go and get yourself an agent. That's my piece of advice, first of all, because with broadcasting skills like that, you'll be in great demand. It's been lovely to meet you, Harry. And have you been up here before, by the way, into the media box here? It's good, isn't it? What do you think of the view?
It's a really good view. Just needed to get a bit taller.
Yeah, just to be able to see over there. But it's a lovely view, isn't it? You can see everything fantastically. Well, I hope, Harry, that you end up spending a lot more time up here. When I'm old and retired, they'll need some fresh blood up here, and I hope it'll be you, Harry. Well done on all you've done. Look forward to seeing you on the big screen again this afternoon, and continued success today as our junior reporter. Well, that's Harry, and we're going to take a little break now. We're going to be back in a couple of minutes when Glamorgan will be chasing 119 to win, to beat Kent here in this Vitality Blast game and really put themselves in a good position for a quarter-final spot. So we'll see you again in a couple of minutes. Harry, thanks very much for joining us. Well, welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your half-time cuppa we have here. And if you've just joined us, Glamorgan need 119 to beat Kent in this Vitality Blast match here at Sapphire Gardens. It was a tough day at the office for the Kent batters, who lost 3 wickets in the power play and then really struggled from there on. Excellent performances from Andy Gorvin and Ned Leonard, who both took 4 wickets in a very tight bowling display all round. And so Glamorgan need less than a run a ball here for a victory that would really consolidate their place in the top 4 of the Southern Group here. So opening the batting for Glamorgan, as one of the stewards very slowly makes his way off. I think he's enjoying his moment in the spotlight there in his lovely blue tracksuit. Very distinctive, and takes his seat. I think he was looking after the pitch. Okay, so it's Klassen to the Glamorgan captain, Kieran Carlson, who's straight off the mark, and he's going to come back for a comfortable 2. Yeah, 5.95 is what Glamorgan need to win this. So the maths are pretty simple.
Yeah, it's almost doesn't really come into it, does it? So for Kent to win this game, they've got to bowl Glamorgan out. And that's why they've got to slip in place, and they'll have catches. They'll be more aggressive in how they set their fields, but obviously with that become opportunity to score easy runs.
Goes straight. Hasn't got all of this. Again, it's only going to be 2. But a bit of intent.
Yeah, I think that's it. Missed time. We haven't seen many time shots in the first half of this game, but Carlson obviously shown his hand here and gone, right, we're going to win this game, we're going to win this game quickly. You talked about net run rate, and everything sort of comes into the mix of possibly getting that 4th spot. So the quicker Glamorgan can knock these runs off, the better their chances are of claiming that 4th place.
Glamorgan have a negative net run rate in the table at the moment, so to win big would be really good for that. And who knows whether that final quarter-final spot will be decided on net run rate. It could be, and so they'll see this as an opportunity really just to boost their chances on every level. Not only get the win, but get that net run rate higher as well.
An early change of field from Captain Billings. He's put a 3rd man up inside the inner circle, drop his fine leg back.
That's well struck, and that is huge. Hits the advertising hoardings, and Kieran Carlson is setting the stall out here. Glamorgan are not going to take things easy, chasing a low total.
Carlson a little bit straight, a little bit too full, and Carlson picking that up and getting all of it 8-10 foot over the boundary rope. It's a good start for Glamorgan. Huge contrast from Kent's start, wasn't it?
It was. So it's Will Smale partnering Kieran Carlson, as he has done in all of the Blast campaigns so far. Another player who, if it's his day, can really motor. He's got the power to clear the boundary. And he's off the mark as well. And so at the end of the first over, it's been a good one. Glamorgan 12 without loss, chasing 119.
Yeah, it's a fine balance when trying to defend a total like as low as, what are we on, 107 to win. Yeah. So yes, defending such a low total, you almost like push too hard to try and get those wickets. Where Glamorgan actually got their wickets from just bowling reasonably tight, reasonable length, using what greenness there is in the wicket, ball nipping around, a little bit of spin there, but it wasn't full out attack. So, but there is a balance to strike, but Kent going full ball here with 2 slips in place, almost a drive man on the square drive there.
2 slips in now.
Yeah, so it's full out attack. 2 fielders out are your 3rd man and a deep square leg.
Straight away, brilliant innovation, and 6 for Smale. That is the ramp played to absolute perfection. Well, you just got to admire the confidence to do that first ball.
Shot from Smale's net, but the actual line was leg stump, which made the shot a little bit easier. With your 2 slips in place, you've got to hang that ball outside off stump on a reasonable length.
So 2 slips still in for Rogers.
Again, leg side.
Again, one of those half appeals in the hope of persuading the umpire that wasn't a wide.
Billings to be frustrated with this.
Yeah, that's not the start he wanted. Straight away, the 2 sixes already in the first 7 balls. That's not what the doctor ordered. If you're a Kent fan, that is. It is music to the ears of Glamorgan supporters. And Glamorgan look like they want to get this done as quickly as possible. Plenty of intent shown so far. So Kent need wickets. Guess that's what we know. That's their only chance, you would think. They need wickets to start tumbling. And that's why it's an attacking field. With Jack leaning and Tawanda Mayeye in at slip alongside the captain Sam Billings. Just hoping that Rogers can find the edge. Smale, wow. Head in the air a bit there. Really gave that one the kitchen sink.
I think it's the way to go. Chasing low totals. I just think, especially 1, 2, 3, 4, your top 4, just ultra aggressive.
Looked like he lost his shape a little bit there. You'll know better than me, but when your head ends up looking skywards.
Yeah, he's trying to get that into Newport.
That's cut away. Oh, no, just falls short. Daniel Bell. Who's that down there? It's not Daniel Bell Drummond. Who's that down there? It's Joey Everson. Yeah, just one bounce.
Just short. You've got to go for it. You've got to go. He sort of tapped a couple of steps forward, then just pulled out. The camera's just got it. The last moment that he's pulled. I just think you've got to go full out for it. Get yourself forward.
You have to put that down as a half chance.
You need to take everything that gets thrown your way, and that's a half a chance there. Could have been the first wicket for Kent.
So Kieran Carlson's on to 11 from just 5 balls. He's not hanging around. Oh, that's just past second slip. Everson stops the boundary. So Rogers did find the edge there. That's what the slips are there for. But it was...
That's
not
the
really
line.
A chance. Yeah,
that's your line. With your 2 slips in place, looking for that edge. Unfortunately, they just drop a little bit short of second slip. Second slip's now just taking 2 or 3 steps forward, closer to the bat.
And Glamorgan batters adhering to the old adage: if you're going to flash hard. If they're going to swing outside off stump, try and really go hard at it. I hope it flies over the slips or lands safe, not into their hands. This one's on the hip. And turned away very nicely, timed, and that'll be 4 for Smale. Got his line wrong there, did Rogers, and Smale took full advantage.
Yeah, the odd opportunity in that over, but fundamentally I think we ended up with 13 coming from. Another good, strong over for Glamorgan. Again, strained down leg side. I think half of that over was down the leg side, is not required with 2 slips in place. Obviously, people listening and watching this have no interest in England, what's going on, because they're fully engrossed in this game down at Spitfires Gardens. I think 7 down for England against India. Game in play, plenty of runs behind, just under 400 runs behind. So England looking to hang in there.
It's like Jamie Smith, I think 76 not out. Hopes would rest with him, you'd think. They're at Edgbaston, if they're going to salvage a draw. Meanwhile, here at Spitfires Gardens, it's Gilchrist who's come on at the Cathedral Road end. Carlson manages to fend that one away for a single. So they're starting with real intent here, Glamorgan. That's the thing. They haven't come out here just to take it easy and be conservative because they're chasing a low total, as Mike's been discussing. Try and get it down as quickly as possible. Play with intent, and that's what they've done so far. Both openers. Haven't quite got the line right yet of the Kent bowlers. It's a little bit too leg side. They're giving some easy runs on the leg side. That's another one there. They've got that slip in place. If they bowl there, not many will be going to slip.
Yeah, I think they're conscious of Carlson. He's very strong with a bit of width when he's batting, so there's a fine line between not giving width and straying down that leg side.
Worked nicely behind square. It's a long way down to the corner there, so that allowed Carlson, even though he didn't really sprint the first one, to get back pretty comfortably for the second. And already this just seems a lot easier, doesn't it, for Glamorgan than it did for Kent. Just loads of singles around the place. There's the boundaries as well.
Yeah.
All the funky shots they've tried have come off so far.
But as we said in the first half of this game, once you know what you're chasing, you can set the tempo and how you chase those runs down something as low as 90 to win. Full control from the first delivery of this game.
So they put a fielder in to try and stop that shot, but Carlson has played really well so far.
Gilchrist, he's a couple of feet short. He's just a little bit short towards Carlson. He is a short man in stature, so you have to bowl a little bit fuller than you probably would to Smale at the other end. Get him driving.
Now where's that gone? It's gone high. Has it gone far enough?
Oh, he's got
it has. One bounce, 4. Is the short ball. Carlson saw it and decided to go straight over the keeper pretty much. And played it really, really well.
Again, another short ball, slightly different line, outside off stump. Carlson gave himself a little bit of room and ramping that ball over the keeper's head. 1 bounce, 4 runs. You're right. Whatever they're doing is coming off at the moment. It's a complete contrast.
Yeah, great innovation from Carlson.
Oh, almost that trap, isn't it? Around the corner there.
It's a shot he's played a lot. That just, if that had gone straight to the man, it could have been a potential low catch, but as it was, it went a couple of metres to his right, and it was another single, and Glamorgan making serene progress towards this title of total of 119 that they need to win this match. They're 34 without loss and absolutely flying along at over 11s. The run rate now just 5.
You say games outstanding for Glamorgan. We talked before, it's Hampshire. They've got Surrey away. It's another fixture for Glamorgan.
Well, Glamorgan have got a busy week yet. They're away at Hampshire on Thursday, and then they travel to the Oval on Friday before we're back here for the double header at Sapphire Gardens against Gloucestershire. As Carlson drives, lovely elevated cover drive. Stylish shot, and 4 more, and Glamorgan are motoring along now.
Really good shot from Carlson here. Hopefully a bit of a replay. Just see how much the full face of the bat he's given to this shot. Not over hitting it, dropping that ball over cover. Couple of bounces, 4 runs. Well played.
Yes, the double header here next Sunday. Women's game. Women's team doing so well, sort of heading up their group at the moment. Of course, in the first season of women's cricket here at Glamorgan. Their match against Gloucester is at 11 o'clock, followed by the men at 3. Tickets available, glamorgancricket.com. If you want to come down, get a full day of action. Would really recommend that. So that's next Sunday, the 13th of June. A double header. The first time that's been done here. Glamorgan women at 11, Glamorgan men at 3. Should be a fantastic day. So Glamorgan really doing a good job so far of trying to consolidate their position in the top 4. And there's everything going their way at the moment.
Shot.
And Smale continues, holds the pose. Tells the photographers, get a snap of that, guys, because that was a beautiful shot.
textbook, didn't it? Great balance. Held it. Still holding it. Still holding it. That back end of the arm. Well played.
He knew it was good. He just thought, I'm going to preen for 5 or 10 seconds now, just to make sure everyone noticed. I had a high elbow. It looked good.
Yeah, he's peacocked that, didn't he?
It was. Fair play. And to add insult to injury, one of the fielders has got to be rooting round under the covers to try and find the ball. They found it, and it's back in the hand of Rogers, who's gone for a couple of boundaries from the first 3 balls of this over. And the runs are flowing for Glamorgan. Smale 17 off 8 now. Oh, and I think he's might have got a little top edge on that.
Yes, yeah.
Straight over Sam Billings' head, nothing he could do. And that race to the boundary. Everything going Glamorgan's way.
Yeah, it was intended for that area. Billings going sort of a third slip. He's brought a third man up inside the circle. It's almost like a fly slip. Backward point as well. And Smells up to the task, thinking, right, if I can just get a bit of bat in it, lifted over those 2 or 3 fielders. He's got 4 runs, and luckily for him, he just got a little bit of edge on it. It was elevated over those fielders.
Nice looking shot, but he finds Daniel Bell Drummond there at mid-off. So a welcome dot ball from a Kent perspective. Well, the contrast between the 2 power plays so far could not be greater. They were on about 10 for 2, were Kent, at this stage of the game. Glamorgan 48 without loss. Smale drives. Has not got all of it. Just clears Daniel Bell Drummond. Bit of a miss hit, but just got enough on it. Just cleared the fielder's head. Bit of an escape there.
Yeah, he didn't hold his pose for that shot, did he?
Yeah, delete that one, photographers.
It's like blowing it, trying to get a few more yards. Scampering down the other end.
Yeah, we'll forget that one happened.
Yeah, got enough on it. Got away with it. Oh, well bowled. Well bowled. He's searching for that line and length. But another weighty over for Glamorgan.
Yeah, 49 without loss now after 4 overs. And they are racing towards this total. They're almost halfway there already. And we've still got 2 overs left of the power play. I think that was the one that Will Smale didn't get.
Yeah, slightly inside edge.
Yeah. I felt like maybe his weight was leaning back a little bit.
Yeah, his bat just come through sort of into out, so he didn't get any sort of shape on the shot. Fortunately, he got enough bat on it just to go over Bell Drummond's head at mid-off.
So it's Fred Klassen, who went for 12 off his first over. So he's now going to continue at the Cathedral Road end. Try to run it down, but they've got loads of fielders in that area. They've got a fly slip and also a conventional slip.
Yeah, Smell sort of suggesting to Carlson at the non-strikes end that he's ran his fingers down that. It's a slower ball.
The slip's gone out now. So they're moving into where they're going to put him.
Ooh, very straight catcher on the leg side.
Well, there we go. This is like a funky Ben Stokes style position. This is.
They need something.
Ooh. Played about 3 different shots there, did Will Smale. In the end, none of them very successfully, but managed to get a single, and that's the Glamorgan 50. Comes up after 4.2 overs, and they are making serene progress, and it's a 50 partnership as well, of course. Well, in the context of the game, very important, and Glamorgan really right in the driving seat here. Well, what can Kent do here? Their wicket-taking plans haven't come off. The runs are flowing freely. I suppose their only chance is just they've got to keep attacking, haven't they? Literally, there's no point in doing anything else. It's wickets that are their only chance.
They'll need some sort of miracle.
Yeah. So a short catcher in. You'll probably see him just in your wicket there. Look at short mid-wicket.
Got it.
And that's out. Smale has driven that one straight to mid-off. And that's the first wicket. Tom Rogers takes the catch. And Smale departs for an entertaining 19 of just 12 balls. And Glamorgan lose their first wicket.
Yeah, cleanly struck by Smale. But unfortunate for him, picking out mid-off. Didn't have to move straight at him, but he hit the ball very well. Entertaining 19, just his 12 deliveries faced. Just give himself a little bit of room to the leg side. And it was all of a trap from on the leg side with Bell Drummond. You just see him in pitch on the right-hand side there. Give himself a bit of room, open up the offside. But unfortunate for him, hitting it straight to the fielder.
It's quite a good catch in the end because that did go like an absolute rocket off his bat. He really caught that. Quite low, but got down to it nicely to Rogers.
Yeah, he would be disgusted with himself if he dropped that. But yeah, cleanly struck.
We'll sting the hands a little bit, but he made it look easy in the end. And that brings Alex Horton, Glamorgan's wicketkeeper batsman, out, batting 3.
Yeah, Horton, you wouldn't have seen a lot of Horton. He's been on the staff for a number of years.
Yep.
I think it's 5 years he's possibly been on the staff. But yeah, Cook makes way for Horton coming through.
And interesting, he goes straight up to bat at 3. And from what I've seen, the little bits I've seen on video of him this year, he likes to throw the bat. Looking to pull that into the stand to introduce himself to the crowd in the first home match I think he's played here this season, but that one a bit too much pace and bounce on it.
That's race too, isn't it? Through head height to Billings behind the stumps.
So still got that short mid wicket in. He's gone a little bit wider than he was to Smale. Yeah, gets the call through and Horton's off the mark.
Lovely.
Kieran Carlson was down the other end like a whippet, and that means that Glamorgan at the end of the 5th over
just on the shot,
52 for 1.
Oh, before I disappear, I'd say happy birthday to a good friend of mine, Will Hull. Enjoys his cricket. Hit a bit of form this summer. He's doing really well. So, Will, if you're listening, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Will. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing something nice as well as watching us to celebrate. You've got something, a glass of something cold in your hand. As Glamorgan 52 for 1 from 5. 1 over left in the power play. And it's going all their way so far. I'm sure you've been enjoying it, Kath. There's been a feast of shots and everything really going their way. Just that one miss hit from Smale, and Alex Horton has shown his intent as well. A beautiful cover drive to get off the mark. Well, not to get off the mark, but his first boundary. That's the first shot he's played.
Yeah, just opened up his shoulders in the width in his stance there, just straight over the infield and glorious shot 4. But yeah, what a start from Glamorgan. I think they're looking to try and wrap this up quite quickly. And yeah, Kent don't seem to have any answers at the moment. So yeah, great strong start from Glamorgan. Currently 56 for 1.
Well, even if it's going the wrong direction, they're still sticking with the 2 slips. I think Rogers is making the ball do something when he pitches it up just outside off stump. And so it's wickets that they need. Horton goes leg side. And that's another boundary. Yeah. Flick that over square leg. And that's 2 and 2.
Yeah, and that has brought about the change. So Sam Billings bringing one of those slip fielders you literally just mentioned out now, and probably a very sensible thing to do. Still keeping with 1 wide slip, but yeah, extra fielder into the mid-wicket area.
Glamorgan look like they're in a hurry here.
Yeah.
Want to do as much damage as they can.
They know something we don't. The weather's on the way, or what gig is they've got to get to tonight?
Is it Human League tonight? They've probably got tickets for Human League. Must be that. Lovely shot again. Horton showing the full array of skills here. With 1 through the offside, 1 through the leg side, and now he goes straight.
Beautiful drive. Absolutely just Foot planted, straight down the ground. No answers at all at the moment. Rogers frustrated, but it's just exceptional batting at the moment from Horton.
It's lovely clean striking. Introducing himself to this Glamorgan crowd in the best possible way here. Pulls, it's in the air, but it's into space. And that's 4 more. 4 balls, 4 boundaries. And Alex Horton is looking like the real deal.
I think he didn't quite get hold of that, but he didn't need to. There's no one out there. So pulled across. I think he probably slightly toe end of the bat, but managed its way all the way to the boundary. So yeah, he is motoring along at the moment.
So 2 deep fielders on the leg side now. Looks like they think that might be Horton's area. And a nice response. Rogers more in hope than genuine belief that he got an edge. Appealed to the umpire. He was on his own there, not joined by keeper or slip. But still, compared to the previous 4 balls, he'll take that. A welcome dot from his perspective. Morgan absolutely racing along. They're more than halfway there already, and we're not even out of the power play. Brilliant. And that's big.
Oh, it's plugged.
Just going to trickle there, I think.
No.
Oh, he's just hauled it in. Well, that was like a 9-iron. It landed and seemed to almost backspin a bit. Still 2 for the over, and that's 18. Brilliant from Horton. He's raced on to 19. At the end of the power play, Glamorgan are 70 for 1. Just compare that with where Kent were, the same stage. They were 27 for 3, Kath. I guess that tells its own story.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, yeah, Glamorgan have come out of the traps really quickly here today. Might still be a bit damp down that corner. I'm not sure, but it did just plug that one. But yeah, Horton was certainly stood admiring it and then realised that they had to run because it wasn't going to go for 4.
Yeah, it looked like he'd really hit it cleanly and it was a boundary straight off the bat. But
he was holding the pose, wasn't he? But yeah.
He was.
So there's quite some thick cloud around now, and news from the Glamorgan game. So Glamorgan women are away to Kent Spitfires. And at the moment there's been no play because of thunder and lightning. So I'm not sure they're going to get a full game in today because it's coming up to 4:30, but it doesn't look like they've even started play yet. So Glamorgan won the toss and elected to field, but at the moment they are not even on the field of play due to the weather. Wide ball given.
It's not going Kent's way really here. I think there's just a sense of which there's not managed to get any control at all. No wonder Sam Billings has got his arms folded behind the stumps. Probably feeling a little bit fed up with the way things are going. Klassen.
Oh.
Just clears. Just clears Rogers there at mid-off. Didn't hit it hard, Carlson. Just tried to sort of punch it, really.
Yeah.
Just had enough on it. And again,
held
used
in
up
the
one of
air
his 9 lives.
What felt like a really long time. I thought Rogers was actually going to get there, but just over the shoulder by a metre or 2, so out of reach. But yeah.
One of those strange ones. You can't tell whether it's sailing into the stand for a while or you're trying to work out its trajectory. In the end, it only just cleared the fielder. That one's
no
bigger.
Doubt about that.
That is absolutely massive. It's the biggest one of the day, and it's 4 rows from the back of the big stand.
It's at least W, I'd say. At least row W there. That is an absolutely monumental 6. Leant back, no doubt about that one whatsoever. Carlson connected brilliantly and dispatched into row W, it'd be my guess.
Oh, he did not give that the treatment. That was enormous. It's not a short boundary that side. And if you know the sloping stand here, well, that was bouncing around about 4 rows from the back. Big. Goes straight this time. That's not been well hit. A chance. And Rogers has taken it. And that's the end of a very entertaining innings from the Glamorgan captain, Kieran Carlson. He goes for 34. And he's really helped to put Glamorgan, you'd think, in a position where it's going to be very, very difficult to lose this game. 34 runs from 18 balls. And he's set Glamorgan well on their way, you would think.
Yeah, definitely. I think, Kent in the huddle there. Probably trying to think if we can get another quick 1 or 2 wickets. But they've only got 40 runs to play with, so they don't have a lot in the tank here. So maybe a couple of quick wickets might boost Kent at the moment, but it looks like it's going all Glamorgan's way.
Well, such has been the intent from the opening pair, or the opening Van Horton as well, coming at 3, that really, they need 3 and over from here, really, which is comfortable. They'll be looking to go much higher than that, and should be comfortable going 4s, 5s, 6s without really taking too many risks. But let's see if Kellaway continues the intent. Ben Kellaway, the new batter, and he's off the mark, just sneaks it past point for a single. Well, we've had everything in this over from Klassen. We've had a wide, we've had a 6, and we've had a wicket. Entertaining stuff. So, Alex Horton, 19 from 8. Think about a second. Kellaway is very quick. 2 young players out there now. But they wisely decide against a second. And at the end of the 7th over, going along very nicely now. And then you can just see the worm. Well, Glamorgan's run rate is way above anything that Kent managed at any point during their innings. Climbing steeply, the black line, way ahead of where they need to be to win this match, and way ahead of where Kent were. It's great to see some young supporters enjoying the game.
So Gilchrist into the attack from the river end, so looking to mix it up. Still with pace. Dug in short, but pulled away. Oh, and it's taken! It's taken down at deep backward square. Tried to Horton there, thought he probably had more on it than he did, but there was a fielder lurking just off inside the boundary, and that's another quick wicket taken.
So Alex Horton, the 3rd Glamorgan batter to go. 81 for 3 now. No need for panic stations by any means, as they're most of the way towards their target, but still he looks disappointed as he shuffles off, shaking his head. I think he felt he could have done a bit of damage staying out there a little bit longer, but has just pulled it straight to the man. If it had gone 5 metres either side, it would have been a boundary. And that brings out one of the all-time Glamorgan legends, Colin Ingram, the most experienced player in this Glamorgan side. Got a nice 50 the other night. And after a slow start in this competition, but he is one of Glamorgan's all-time great white ball players. And, well, a good man to have coming in at this stage. You hope all his experience will just help him get over the line. That's certainly the plan. He'll want to be there at the end if he can. Left arm bat, of course. Yeah. So now Glamorgan have a left-right combination. Just adds always 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, just about to say that. Always adds an extra question for the opposition when it's rotating the strike from left to right.
It's a leg by that one. So Ingram not formally off the mark. So 2 new batters out in the middle now. So this Kent will just sense that there's an opportunity here with 2 new batters. The slips back in. 82 for 3. Might feel a little bit different if it was 82 for 5. So they've got to somehow keep attacking here. Glamorgan working the singles. That's nicely done. Just rotate the strike. They don't need to do much more than that really to win this game. a run rate less than 3 now.
Yeah.
So that's should just be not even. Well, it's not something they'll be thinking about. Just getting this done as quickly as possible, I guess. So Colin Ingram on strike now.
It's still a very attacking field, you know. You've got 5 close in the inner ring still.
He seemed very close in there, didn't he?
Yeah.
For that one, there's no chance of taking a single.
Just trying to shift that pressure back onto Glamorgan a bit, like say 2 new batters at the crease.
Yeah, there's a short catching mid-wicket and a short cover, very short cover. As Ingram has bounced that over point, and I think that's going to be 4. Hit it into the ground firmly, and it bounced so high, it went over the man at point. And that's Colin Ingram's first boundary.
I think, you know, that's what, you know, Kent obviously trying to put the pressure on so there's no quick singles, but as soon as it's through that inner ring, it's going to be 4. So Billings is pushing that fielder back out now, so deep backward square going back.
Very hard balance for him to find here between attack and defence.
Oh.
Ingram goes the other side, and that is powerfully struck.
Well picked up.
What a way to end the over. 2 boundaries, and that's just helped set Glamorgan recorrect the momentum after a little wobble and a few wickets lost. Glamorgan now still looking in a great position, 91 for 3 after only 8 overs. And you'd think this should be a formality.
Very much so. I mean, it's going to have gone horribly wrong from here on in if this isn't wrapped up in the next 2 or 3 overs, I'd say.
Well, those gentlemen have picked out their best shirts for this match.
Bringing a bit of Hawaii to Cardiff.
The weather's just got a little bit less tropical in the last hours. A bit of cloud has blown over. Still pleasantly warm, and I don't think we're going to get any rain. Certainly the forecast was for it to be dry all afternoon, so I don't think we need to worry about that as Clarkson continues from the Cathedral Road end. So it looks like the tactic is just to bowl through their biggest strike bowlers here. Yeah. So this is Clarkson. He's going to have bowled straight through here, really. Looking to him to get the breakthrough. He's taken 2 wickets so far, 2 for 26 from the 3 overs. Rogers, well, he's had an afternoon to forget. 0 for 46 from 3, going at more than 15s. So Classon's the one who I think Billings fancies of causing some damage here. Maybe the last roll of the dice. They're coming back for 2.
Well run, very well run.
It's a long way to throw down in that corner. It's probably the longest boundary of the lot, actually, down in that corner in front of the big scoreboard, the electronic scoreboard down there. And Colin Ingram still sharp between the wickets. Callaway pulls. It's just going to be the one. Yep. It's Tawanda Mayeye down there on the boundary. Little part of me disappointed we didn't get to see him back for a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure.
Today, lots been talked about.
Yeah.
About him. So his duties now just trying to patrol that deep cover boundary. Nice and easy from Colin Ingram. Just takes the single and offer down to third man. That's all Glamorgan need to do here.
I think that's what they are doing. They're just using the pace of the ball. You know, if it's there to be hit, it's being dispatched, and if it's not, they're just rolling it off the bat and taking the 1 or scampering a quick 2. So, yeah, it's looking quite easy at the moment for Glamorgan to get through these runs. Only 24 more required. Clarkson comes in, that's pulled to leg sides, but only for 1 run. But yeah, not sure from a Kent point of view, with little runs to play with, what more you can actually try other than, you say, keep your strike bowlers bowling through, and hopefully you might pick up a wicket, but just doesn't feel there's enough runs to play with.
No, it's something miraculous is the only way you think that Kent can win this match from here. Oof.
stop ball to finish the over.
I think I'm relieved that that one didn't just come off the face of his bat straight into the gloves of Sam Billings, but it didn't. And that is Fred Klassen bowled through. And there's our young friend Harry on the big screen. Young reporter who we saw in the interval.
Could put us out of a job, wouldn't he?
Yeah, no, he was good as well. I thought his analysis of the bowling was probably better than anything Mike gave us earlier. Is Mike in the room?
He is.
He didn't know. Oh, he's here. Well, I take that back then. So Joey Everson now from the River Taff end. Glamorgan cruising now, 96 for 3. Only need 23 runs to win, and they've got oodles of time to do it.
That's what they've got to do, isn't it? It's just, you know.
An air of calm.
Yeah.
Just keep things calm. Yeah, I think if these two can see it through, they'd like to do that.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much spin in this game. Only the 4 overs that Imad bowled. So we didn't see Ben Callaway bowl spin. I don't know if we're going to see any spin from Kent. Obviously, they've got Matt Parkinson in their ranks, but I don't think they fancy turning to him just yet. Well, he did take that blow on his shoulder, didn't he? He's out there now, just fielding down in front of us. Down at sort of deep third man. Did look nasty when he got it. I thought he'd been hit on the head. Look, he had a helmet on, of course, as batting at the non-striker's end, but it was a fearsome blow that he took.
Yeah, pulled away there, sweeping.
Glad he's okay. Seems to be walking fine down there. No doubt has had a bit of ice on that shoulder to try and get the bruising down. So he's on the field, so it makes you think that they probably intend to bowl him at some point.
They'll be running out soon, so they probably need to make that decision sooner rather than later. Slower ball.
Lovely shot. That's a nice cover drive. But it's not going to beat the man. They're not going to come back for 2 though.
Easily 2 there. Well run.
Still looks very sharp between the wickets. Does Colin Ingram? Yeah, he hasn't lost any of the pace. Well, maybe lost a little bit, but still looks sharp. Yeah, 100 for 3. The 100 up in the 10th over. Serene progress. And don't forget, plenty more cricket to happen this week. Glamorgan on the road to Hampshire on Thursday, and then the Oval, where they face Surrey on Friday. But next week it's a double header here at Sapphire Gardens against Gloucestershire. The women on are 11 o'clock, the men on at 3 o'clock. Tickets are available at glamorgancricket.com. Should be a brilliant day, actually. You're looking forward to it, Kath, as well, I know.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, double header for both of us next weekend. So yeah, hopefully Glamorgan will get some playing today and in the week as well. But yeah, it'll be a good day out. So yeah, hand back over to Mike for the last bit.
So yeah, important. The first double header here next Sunday. Hasn't happened before here. Of course, the first season for women's cricket, and should be something really to look forward to. A full day here, and wouldn't it be great just to get behind the Glamorgan women's team? They're doing so well, leading the way in their group in their first season, and chance to see them and see the stars of Welsh women's cricket at first hand. Get your tickets from glamorgancricket.com. So it is Matt Parkinson. Let's see what that shoulder's like. Well, that seemed to be okay.
I reckon for about 10 overs, Parkinson just hasn't looked Billings in the eyes. Don't bother me. Don't bother me.
Yeah, there's not much to be gained, is there, really? I mean, you would think.
16 runs needed. Go on, the other bowler. Thanks, Skip. Thanks for that, mate.
Well, I suppose he basically just camped up at the non-strikers end batting, so he felt like he wanted to do something today.
shot.
Used his feet nicely, Callaway. It's just going to be one. As Rogers, who's been in the action in the field all the time, races around to cut that one off. So just 15 runs to win now. Still trying to attack with 2 catches on a short cover and short mid-wicket. As Ingram goes reverse and reverses it for 6. Well, made that look
what a shot
absolutely
that is.
Effortless.
The old boy still got it. See, I much prefer that. That's a ridiculous shot from Ingram there. Didn't hold the pose. Scratched his mark again, bit of gardening with the bat. Let's get on with the game.
He was in position so early, he kind of had to wait for the ball to arrive. Oh, tries a more conventional sweep, and Matt Parkinson appeals, and to add insult to injury, it's called a wide. Well, when it's not your day, it's not your day. And he's not had a great day, has Matt Parkinson. Been hit in the shoulder by his partner at the other end when he was batting. And has just been reverse swept for 6 by Colin Ingram on his 3rd ball of the day. So down into single fingers needed now. Just 8 to win.
Oh, he's got that as well. That's massive.
Probably going to be 6 of them. And it is. Bounces back out of the stand. And Glamorgan now just in touching distance of victory here at Sapphire Gardens.
In fairness, it could be worse for Parkinson. He could have a 4.5-hour journey back down to Canterbury as well on top of this. This is a bad day.
Oh dear, yeah. You've done that journey a few times, Mike.
Yeah.
And it is a long way. About 4.5 hours around the M25. No one wants that. And Ingram's keen to finish it. And has he? Oh. No, he hasn't. It's caught on the boundary. He went for glory to finish it in style, and in the end just picked out the man down there on the deep boundary. It's Finch who took the catch just a couple of yards inside, and so we have to wait a little bit longer for the inevitable Glamorgan victory here. Well, it was entertaining while he was here. Colin Ingram 24 from 13. We saw the full array of shots, and that brings Asa Tribe out. Joins his friend Ben Kellaway, both members of the Cardiff UCCE team this season, who won the Universities Championship this week, didn't they? I think without those 2 players who were on Glamorgan duty, but yeah, Cardiff UCCE won the Bucks Trophy. So it's been a lovely little breeding ground for Welsh cricket, that has.
I think Dougthwaite came through that system as well, didn't he?
He did,
yeah,
he did.
It's a good breeding ground for Glamorgan.
Yeah. So 2 of the young guns here, 2 runs to win. And will Kellaway just try and get it done? So are they going to come back for the second? Well, he's going to let his mate at least face 1 ball, I think.
Glamorgan are going to win by about 9 overs here, right? To spare, and the crowd are booing them because they come through for a risky 2 to win the game. Demanding crowd down here in Cardiff.
So just 1 run to win. The scores are tied. And Asa Tribe, I reckon he's the sort of guy who's going to try and whack it. Let's see. I was wrong. Yeah, why get out? Why play a silly shot? Just wait for the one that's in the slot. Everyone's saving a single now. There's no one on the boundary as far as I can see. So you'd think going aerial is probably the obvious thing to do here, but just get enough bat on it, and Glamorgan have won. And again, being booed for full defensive. Well, they've come to be entertained here, and they have been brilliantly entertained. Glamorgan have played really, really well, but this has been over, is going to be over pretty quickly. You'd think it'll be over fairly soon, and that's it. Ace of Tribe flicks it through the leg side for a 4, and that is a comfortable victory for Glamorgan. They win this Vitality Blast match against Kent by 6 wickets, and it has been completely comprehensive, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, Glamorgan, I can't think they didn't put a foot wrong from the start. I mean, even when the toss, I mean, they've done everything that they tried came off. So yeah, I mean, backing up from what they did down in Taunton on Friday night, they backed it up here, just unstoppable force here on Sunday. It just bodes well for this competition. It looks like the players seem to know their roles within that. It looks like there's a lot of confidence going through the team. So yeah, it looks like they might go deep in this competition this year.
Yeah, and it's back-to-back victories for the first time, I think, this season. They've sort of gone win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, and now they've finally put 2 wins together this weekend. Brilliant weekend for Glamorgan, and Mike, some real plus points, I guess, on the bowling side. Ned Leonard has just showed us perhaps that what he did in Taunton on Friday night wasn't a one-off.
No,
he's done it again. Took 4 wickets here.
Yeah, you say 5 wickets on Friday, 4 on today, and only at 6.5 and over. Looks like he had, you say, a little bit of pace to this team, some sort of difference to what they've got already. So yeah, like I say, they look a good team in this competition, and with their batting as well, it goes quite deep and it looks powerful, and players that have come in and add into what they've got already. As you say, Carlson again, despite with his 34. Horton looked positive with his 20 from 10 balls. Unfortunately for him, getting caught in the deep off a pull shot. Ingram again showing his class, and could have saw the game through himself, but just trying to entertain the crowd and got caught in the boundary. So yeah, things look good at Spitfires Gardens at the moment.
Yeah, all smiles for the Glamorgan players as they shake the hands of their opponents and the umpires. And yeah, well, it wasn't Kent's day. Pretty much everything went wrong right from the beginning for them. They were in trouble in the power play, losing quick wickets, and then when Glamorgan were batting, well, they just decided to take it on right from the start. And yeah, that will be a pretty long journey home down the M4, round the M25. M20, I don't want to give you the full route, but my sister lives in Canterbury, so I've done it a few times myself, mate. So it is a long way. On a Sunday afternoon, I've done that a few times. And so Glamorgan, let's just talk where this leaves them. So I think this will be a big confidence booster for them. They're, with just 6 games to go, they're in the quarter-final spots.
Yep.
And they're looking like a team that knows their roles. A morale-boosting victory against the runaway favourites in the division, Somerset, and now a really good win at home to Kent too, so positive vibes.
Yeah, a win down in Somerset isn't to be taken lightly, because they've always done very well in this competition, especially at their home ground. I think what we forget as well, there was a lot of runs scored in the championship game leading into those 2 T20 games, so there's a lot of boys in good form. There's a lot of boys hitting a lot of balls and scoring a lot of runs, which is great, and the bowlers are backing that up as well. You can just see the runs that are scored on the screen there. I mean, we can't look too deeply into, because they're chasing such a small total, but it's not necessarily the runs that are scored, it was just the attitude and how they scored those runs, and it was a complete contrast to how Kent went about their business and trying to accumulate the 120 or 117 that they 120 or whatever it was that they got. So well,
the strike rates of all the batters there, I mean, they're all over 100 or well over 100. I mean, Horton going at 200, 2 runs a ball.
Yeah, I think chasing down those, we briefly talked about this halfway through the game, that you either try and accumulate and try and go quite quietly about your business, try and chase a total of that. But I agree with what they did, and what Glamorgan did was let's go really hard here and be really positive and chase down as quickly as you can. It looks after our net run rate, and hopefully that might, hopefully it's not the difference, hopefully they qualify on their own right, but it'll bode well leading into the games they've got coming up. And you say there's tough games coming up for Glamorgan.
Yeah, there are 2 games on the road this week, and then back here next Sunday for that double-header against Gloucestershire. And so today, a comprehensive win for Glamorgan by 6 wickets. They bowled beautifully, had Kent in trouble early on, and then when they came out to chase what was a low total, they did it with real intent, and they attacked right from the start. And so Glamorgan have put themselves in a great position as they head into a week with 3 matches to play. They're in the quarter-final spots, opening up a little gap to some of those chasing teams behind them as well. And I think they can feel really confident after 2 victories against Somerset and now against Kent today, as they go into the back end of the competition and hopeful that they can reach the quarter-final for the first time in a little while. So, well, thank you very much indeed for joining us here on the live stream. Thank you to Kath as well for her insight, and to you, Mike, as well. We've enjoyed being here, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday. If you can't come to the ground here to watch the game in person, do join us here on the Glamorgan Cricket live stream. We'll be here from 11 o'clock for the women's game and then 3 o'clock for the men's game for that double header against Gloucestershire, the seven-side derby as they call it, and it should be something well worth watching. So we hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon, and from all of us here at Sapphire Gardens, it's goodbye.